Hello, my people. How's everyone doing? Hey, Ebony. Hey, Miss White. How y'all doing? I'm back, y'all. I took my little days off. Y'all know how I do. I take my days off and I come on back. How's y'all doing on this Tuesday? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a great weekend and having a great week so far. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Brittany. I started my dinner before I started my live. How's everyone doing? Y'all know every so often, y'all know I get my little breaks coming through. So today, y'all, I got a story. I'm gonna see how the chat look. I play part 1 and 2, right? So we all know about Ramika, right? We already know about her and Holly, right? And we see what happened to her, right? In the hands of an evil person, which was Holly. So I got part 1 and part 2 of a story um about a baby mother got another baby mother arrested and sent to prison. So y'all can see who was wrong and who was right in this story. But this story here, the baby mama went to prison for 8 years over the baby father. And then after that, if I have time, we'll get into the update about Ramika. Okay. So, you know, I'm playing this because I want people to understand and see like how men can be the middleman of things and things can spiral out of control when it comes to baby mamas. It can really happen, you know. And I see this is going on a lot, y'all. This is really going on a lot. How the baby fathers meeting new girls and, things don't work out good. It's just, it been going on a lot. Hey, Miss Hill. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yes. Yes. Hey, Robert. Yes, it's definitely going on a lot. I hope ooh, this is really getting out of control when these fathers having children and then they meet another woman and start having children and the baby mothers start to crashing and things got to become better with that. They got to become better with that. I don't know. I think you heard what? You heard that Roma's Miko has harassed by Carlos and Holly. Yeah, yeah. But this has become an issue. And I think sometimes, y'all, to be honest, before I even start this story, let me say this, because I'm not going to be up here long. I think a lot of women, when you meet a guy and he has children already, I don't care if it's by 2 different baby mamas and you the third baby mama, stop listening to everything these men is saying. And if a man come to you right on and start talking about his other baby mothers or his baby mother or his soon to be wife with you, that's a red flag, y'all. That's definitely a red flag. It really is. And I think a lot of women need to start paying attention to that. Instead of jumping on the bandwagon of this man and just start going against these baby moms and you don't even know these baby moms. You just jumping on this man bandwagon. I think this is what a lot of this stuff is stirring up from. Um, the the sad part is the men that is having children by different women. Women, the baby daddy turns the baby mamas against each other. Yes. And if some of these baby mamas got to start being smart, they got to start sitting back, observing, let the man just talk. Let him talk. and get to know this woman for herself. Shut him down. But when you sit there and continue to go on with this man and you don't even know anything about these baby mamas, that's really sad. It's really sad. Get to know these baby mamas for yourself and stop going off what these baby fathers is telling you. Stop doing that. Because they may not be the mean, evil person that these baby fathers paint them out to be. They might not be like that. And they may can save you from some headaches and some pain and some hardships. But still, you get to know these baby mothers, you jump on the bandwagon immediately because of what the baby father is telling you. And that may not be the case all the time. So I think a lot of women out here, so especially some of these young girls out here now, they need to get it together too. Like on some real shit, they need to get it together. So let's listen to it. So the baby mom I'm going to show you now, right? This is the first baby mother. I think she got 3 kids by him. So let's get into it. Hold on.
I had had
Hear
3 kids by this man.
And let me see, can I turn it?
He ended up getting another girl pregnant while we was together, and I was pregnant with my last baby.
Let me know if
from
y'all
him.
can hear because she is a
So
little
I
low.
ended up saying that I wasn't accepting him having a child on me, and I wasn't gonna be a burden or hinder him from taking care of his child because I'm a woman first. But I told him that I didn't want to be with him because he had a child on me. And it's like you broke it, everything. It's like that can't be fixed. That's a deal breaker for me. That if you
That's
have a
right.
kid with somebody else, I mean, I could forgive you for cheating if you change, but I can't forgive you if you bring a child in the world with somebody. So, long story
Thank you, Miss
short,
Hill.
y'all, he had
Thank you,
moved out
Brittany.
and he moved in with his cousin. Actually, I put him out, but however it went, he moved in with his cousin. So he called me over here to go to his house. And now when I get to his house, y'all, he was there, the cousin was there. He trying to act like he wanted me back, he wanted his family back, and that he been over there just chilling at his cousin's house. Well, when I go in the room that he's sleeping in, y'all, he got a picture of the other baby mama on the dresser. He had some KY jelly in there. He had some Vaseline in there. And I'm like, well, what you be doing? What y'all got going on? I said, and why you got this picture in here and had the nerves to come over here and see you and talk to you and you wanted to work it out, this, that, and the third. So y'all, I was fit to be tired then. I was like, I was finna leave. I was like, ain't no working this out. Like you playing games and I see where we at because you got this picture, this girl in here, whatever. So I was getting ready to leave. Now when I'm getting ready to leave, I see the girl car ride by. I parked on the side, but I was coming out the back of the house because they had a porch. So I'm like, I'm not thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe she just ride by. Well, she probably seen my car. So when they rolled by, they came through. It had like this little pathway behind the girl house. They came back there through the pathway. But when they came through the pathway, I was I went back in there and told him that I seen them and
See
I
how
seen them
messy
turning
he
and I
is?
said, if she come up here bothering with me, it's on. He was like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't finna hear this. I'm finna leave. I ain't got time for this. I'm like, you finna leave? And I said that the girl about to show up. I mean, if ain't nothing going on with y'all, why you gotta run away? Because the girl about to show up. Kid y'all not. Just like he said he was about to leave, he left me. Now it's just me, his cousin, her friend, her husband, and 5 of my children, because I had 5 kids at the time. The last 3 was his. My oldest 2 was from 2 other guys. He left. I go outside and I'm starting to put my kids in the car. Well, I go back because I see they pulling up. I go back and I tell the cousin that the girl done rolled up. So when I tell the cousin that the girl done rolled up, I said, this girl been bothering me for years and I'm tired of it. I'm like, if she pull up here trying to fight me, it's on. The cousin was like, all right. She was like, well, if you want to, then we can do it. I said, oh, I want to because I'm tired of it. Now, she was way bigger than me. I was small. I was like 120 pounds at the most. I always been small. And I got bigger over the years, but I was real small. And she was like big. She was like probably almost 200 pounds. I don't know how big she was, but she was bigger than me. So she pulled up. They put they car back there. The cousin come out. Everybody like, no, 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 this ain't finna do this. Y'all ain't finna do this. Y'all ain't finna do that. I was like, we is. I got my churn. I put them in the house. I said, it's going down. I ran off the porch. Me and her started tussling. I mean, we going at it. Boop, 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 boop. Her cousin get out the car. Her cousin start holding me, pulling my hands all behind my back. Now, nobody don't got the girl, but she pulling my hands all behind my back and everything. So when she pulled my hands behind my back, then the girl husband run out there. And he like, nah, we ain't finna do no jumping. And he break it up. Baby daddy nowhere in sight.
See how that go?
Y'all heard me? My baby daddy, my kid's daddy, because I have 3 kids from him, was nowhere in sight. He had done walked to the store. The cousin, everybody had done told him that we had done get in the fight. Now, since she came over there with her crew, I had done called my crew up after the fight was over. And he calling to my what's going on. Don't call me. Don't call me to my know what's going on because you left me and my kids. You left me by my.
Now, y'all see how this can get very dangerous? You see how this can get dangerous? He left her, went to the store, while the other baby mother brought a group of girls over here to fight this girl. He was nowhere around. Okay? You know why? Because he was playing both of them at the same time and he did not want to be busted.
Myself, because this your people house. This ain't my people house. But good thing that I was good with his people because it could have got crazy. It could have even been worse. But I say this to say that we be proving that point and think them guys really do care about us and they don't care about us like they say they do. At least he couldn't care about me like that because you left me in a situation like that. You left. Like how you gonna leave me here to fight this battle that you created? Like I don't understand it. Some guys are so messy and will create a situation, but when it get hot, they will run. Like you literally ran from the situation, and like I say, the older me now will tell the younger me that boy wasn't no good for you. Keep it moving. Don't be out here acting a fool and fighting about these
right
dudes.
too, Robert.
Silence is a killer. You can be quiet. You ain't even gotta even tussle. You ain't gotta tongue wrestle with nobody. You want them, you can have them. But that was a prime example that I had to learn from that this man didn't really mean me no good. Me and the girl end up having another altercation. Okay, so boom, part 2 of my story about what do I call this? The conflicts of the baby mamas, the back and forth with the baby daddy and the baby mama drama. Well, anyways, I don't have a topic for this story. I just told y'all that if y'all want to hear more stories that happened with me, with my baby daddy and his other baby mamas, to let me know. So y'all said y'all wanted part 2. So part 2. So we're gonna talk about baby daddy number 3. Because last incident was about baby daddy number 3, and I said that it got so rocky to the girl end up going to prison. So we're gonna talk about some things that happened that led her to going to prison. So
listen carefully,
I ain't
y'all.
pointing fingers at nobody, but I'm gonna take accountability for dealing with a man that was cheating on me and that showed me that he, that he didn't want to stop doing what he was gonna do. And I stayed with him for 9 years. We lived together. We was in a real, relationship. He had proposed to me like several times in this relationship, but being that I knew that he had been cheating on me and I didn't trust him, I didn't. I wasn't going to marry him because I felt like, why would we get married and you cheating on me? Don't try to marry me because of what you done. So anyways, we have had several incidents. One, I recall, I was at home with the kids. I hadn't gotten ready for bed and he had went to work this day. And I usually pick him up from his job and he didn't call me to, give him a ride from work. So I'm like, how he get home? I already had the incident with the girl, but I let him come back home because around Mother's Day, I had found out he was cheating on me with the girl. Now, I had been hearing about it. People had been telling me that they had been, seeing him around her or whatever, or even in the club. I think one of my friends had seen him with her or whatever, and they told me. But, I had been with this man for 3 years at the time. I had 2 kids from him, and then I found out I was pregnant with our third child. So, anyways, he didn't call me. He got his own ride home. So it's late. It probably was about 2 o'clock in the morning. He went in at 4. They supposed to get off at 12, but sometimes it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it could be later. So he got off of work, got his ride, came home. I heard him in the kitchen. He was in the kitchen fiddling around. He was in the little grocery bag. So while he was in the grocery bags, I woke up and tried to fake like I was asleep because I didn't want him to know. I didn't know what he was doing, but I knew it was something kind of weird because he didn't call me to get him a ride from work. So he came in the room, got him like 2 or 3 outfits or whatever, put in the bag, and then he left out the door. Didn't say nothing to me. So I called his name when I seen him go out the door because I tiptoed behind him, and when I seen the back of the girl's car, she had like a Lexus. So I seen the back of her car and the lights. So he got in the car and they drove out. Now, mind you, that was very disrespectful.
Yes, so bring
Not
another
only was it
woman to the house.
disrespectful, the young lady made another video and said that I knew about her, she didn't know about me. But if you didn't know about me, how you came to my house and picked the man up from my house? You brought him to my house to get something and then to go spend the night with you. So you lied right there.
Facts.
Let's clear that up. You knew about me because I had been with him for 3 years. But this ain't about you. This is about some stuff that happened when me and him was together and you was involved. So anyways, one of my homegirls had moved out there in the little area where she lived at. So she had told me that she had seen her out there and told me the apartment she seen her going to. So I followed them.
So you can tell the baby daddy ain't no good because why would you bring another woman to your house that you living in with your woman to pick up clothes or do anything? Least if you're gonna cheat on your woman, you keep your house anonymous. You don't bring no other woman to your house where you rest your head. That lets you know right then and there that man is drama. He don't care about you. He don't love you. He never loved you, and he never will love you. And he's always gonna be a cheater.
I got right in my car, drove out there, followed them, snuck up to the window because I seen the room light on. And I looked in the blinds and I seen him laying in the bed with his boxers on. They in there talking and laid up. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what we doing.
Through the window.
So I left. I went home. I got in my car. And I probably didn't even sleep that night. I couldn't wait till the next morning because it was late. When the next morning came, I went to the dollar store and I brought 5 gallons of bleach. And I poured all that bleach on his clothes. Ooh. I tore up his shoes too. I got his shoes. I wrote on them. I drew on them. I gave some to the bases in the neighborhood. Like I was so fit to be tied. I was so mad because I was calling him too and he wasn't answering. So after I did all that the next day, I went back to her house. I dropped him out there in front of her apartment though. I knocked on the door and I ran. The reason being I ran because he liked to tussle. So I went to her house. I went to her house, which probably was messy, but he was there. He was in a relationship.
That was messy now.
But you came to my house first to pick him up.
And that's true too.
So yeah, I went to her house. Dang, my light went off. Okay, y'all, I lost my light. It went out, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna finish recording. So what I was saying, okay, I went to the house after I destroyed the clothes or whatever, and I ended up leaving. He called and he was like, I done messed up everything. I done tore up everything and he ain't had nothing to come back home to. Well, that was the point. What do you think? I just tore it up for my own good? I tore it up so you wouldn't have shit. You came with shit, you leave with shit. You don't leave with what you came. You didn't get here. You leave with shit. Is you crazy? So anyhow, that was one particular incident that we had. I didn't really go there to start with her, but it kind of like tit for tat. But I didn't go there to like fight with her or, just try to mess with her or nothing. I did go there to her house. because he was there and she came to my house to pick him up. She picked him up from work and then brought him to my house. That was disrespectful. So I just felt like, if she came to my house, I can go to her house. Ain't no problem with it. I didn't have no beef because I didn't know you. I give you the benefit of the doubt because you didn't know, or you probably did know because the whole town knew that we was together. He didn't have a vehicle. He drove my car. So you should have known that he was with me, but men lie. So I don't blame her for her part because I don't know what he was telling her.
There you go.
But
there you
she
go.
watched the
That's what I
video and
keep
she had some
saying.
things.
You don't know what these men is telling these women. And that's what I was saying about Holly and the beautiful woman. Rest her soul in peace. That's what I was saying. I do believe that Carlos was telling both of these women a bunch of shit. And that's how all this shit started off. I do believe that.
Is to say that I didn't like that she said because,
Hey, Terry, thank
again,
you.
I was over what happened. It's a lot of drama that went on. So, one night I was in my bed sleep and I had to go to work the next day. So I don't play about my job. I had to be there at 6. I already got some warnings for being late. I have to have my kids to school. I have to take my kids to daycare. I got to go across town to take them to daycare, then come back on the side of the town where I live to go to work. Because my kids' daycare was way on the other side of the town. It was in the Lakeland area, and I lived in Medella. So anyways, I get a knock real loud, boom, 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 boom. And then I'm just sleeping because I'm not expecting no company. And I didn't think it was my apartment because I stayed on the 3rd floor. It could be the 2nd floor or the 1st floor. Somebody could be beating on that door, but they ain't beating on mine because I ain't looking for nobody to come here this time. Now I got to go to work. So I kept getting the beatings. And then I finally got up because I'm like, why is these people knocking on my door? By the time I got up and went to the door, it was my neighbors telling me that somebody had vandalized my truck and that they had been trying to wake me up while the people was going around my car, like busting my tires, trying to break my windows, bust out my tail light, just trash my truck. So I go down the stairs to see what my truck looking like, and I see I ain't got but one tie I can use because when they got to the 4th tie, the knife broke. And when the knife broke, the piece that broke was on the ground by the tie. So the back lights was out a little bit. They went out that bad. It wasn't broke that bad, but it was broke. I had to get another tail light. They keyed up my truck. They bust all the tires, so I had to get my tires replaced. I ended up getting my truck painted. I painted it my favorite color, purple, because it had been vandalized, and I had to make a police report. So when the police got there, yes, I called the police because I need to make a report of this. And since me and the girl had been going back and forth a little bit, I started calling the police, making reports because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I need to start reporting this because now that somebody has came and vandalized my truck, it's getting a little too far. We already had them fault. Now y'all messing with my vehicle. I need to start making a report. So I made the report.
Smart.
I gave them the piece of the knife that I found, hoping that they'll get some prints off of it and that they would find the person that vandalized my truck. They asked me, did I have anybody in mind? I threw some names out there and told them to run them for their prints so I can see if this is the people that is bothering with me or whatever. So they really didn't find it in the end, or they wasn't paying attention to the case. They wasn't paying attention to the case. And so the case probably was like, it went on for a while and they would call me with little small updates, but it wasn't really much of nothing. So I wasn't really pressing an issue. It wasn't neither here or there. Like I ended up getting all the stuff done. I filed it on my insurance and I got everything I needed taken care of. So now
Okay, Miss
we
Hill.
can start talking about. Oh no!
Yes,
Before we
she
talk
was,
about
Brittany.
that, it was another incident that happened after that. I seen her at the store. My mom was in prison. My mom had came home, and we seen the side chick at the gas station. My mama was in an uproar. She was mad. She was angry. She wanted to bless, but I was like, Mom, just let it go. It's okay. I don't move. I don't want that man. If he with her, he can have her. Blase squad, we just gonna leave it alone. My mama wanted to tussle. My mama was mad. So my mama was like, you don't bother nobody, and ain't nobody finna be bothering with you, especially not by no man. Like, if she wanna fight, she can fight me. She ain't want to tussle. She got in that car, spin off and left. Now, I see you watching my videos, and you know that these stories are true. This stuff is occurred. I didn't bother you. I didn't stalk you. You stalked me. You rolled by my house several times. I moved, and you came to the address where I moved at in Medella. In Lakeland, you roll by my house every day. And I know people won't get on here and say, but it's some people on here, it's some people that follow me that is from Lakeland. It's some friends that I have can say that they knew they had been on my porch and you followed me before. I mean, you passed by my house before. So you did. You stalked me. You came and you vandalized my car. I have went to your house before. Yes, I did. I did that, but I didn't bother you in the way that you was trying to intimidate me. I was very small back then and you was bigger. And you was used to be around other people that used to be with that stuff. I didn't really hang with nobody. I had friends, but I used to be with just my kids. So you watching my videos and I'm telling this story. Don't come on here with the lies. If we gonna tell it, we gonna tell it the right way. And that's what I'm doing. I'm telling what happened. What happened, happened. It's the past. That's why it's called story time. I do story times on here. So it's the incident that happened in my life. You was involved with it. I didn't expose you, but since you came and made a story time, now it's time for me to tell what happened. My side. This is my side of the story. I'm talking to my people. So you can come over here and have a seat, but you can go on your side and tell what you want to talk about on your side. But over here, you need to have a seat. So not only my life, I had my kids that was with me. But we're going to get into that. So one day, I was at my house. I was a very well-known hairstylist in Lakeland. I still do hair. I'm into some other stuff. I don't do a lot like I did when I was in Lakeland. I lived in Lakeland 18 years, and I was a very well-known hairstylist. So this particular time, I had a client at my house. Now, my baby daddy, side chick, had them been riding by the house all day. So I had a couple people at my house, and we was, I was doing a friend of mine, good friend of my hair. So when I was doing her hair, I want to say the people pulled up to my house. My baby daddy was there. When they pulled up to my house, I think they egged my front porch, they egged my car, and my car had a big dent in it. They kicked the dent in it or something. Something happened to this other car I had. So my baby daddy go out the door, and it's the side chick. Him and the side chick going back and forth, tussling and everything, all in the yard and everything. Now, remind you, I am doing hair. I have a client at my house doing hair.
That's very dangerous.
So I'm below, like, what is going on and why you at my house and why we doing this? Because you know he here, you know we together. There's no more, you don't know. You know where we live because, of course, he lived with me. He was with me when he met you. You know, he was probably in my car because he used to drive it, So my client was pretty upset that she came to my house. I want you to know that my client drug her from one end of the street to the middle of the street. I mean, They got it down. I mean, so many people came out. It was looking like a block party over there at this point because now we done went from doing hair to out there in the streets tussling. My friend called her other friends. The side chick called her family members, and it went down out there. Got her butt toe up about this man, and he didn't do nothing. He didn't help her either. He was cussing her out, disrespecting her, telling her to get from over there. He don't even know why she came over there.
Now y'all see, he didn't help the first baby mama out when they had a fight, and then now she's saying he didn't help the second baby mama out. Ain't that something to marvel at, y'all? That is something to marvel at. Wow, because he is a drama queen man.
We ended up calling the police because the brawl was so big to get the people out the neighborhood, so the people to go home. I couldn't even finish my client hair. She had to come back the next day because she tussled with her. She was pissed off and couldn't believe she was even pissed off with my baby daddy. She was out there giving everybody the business. Because why you at her house? Why you ain't got your side chicks in line, and why they pulling up over here? What's going on? But you're not gonna bully her because again, I was very small, very petite, and I felt like that they were trying to bully me. And so did my friend. So my friend was like, I'm finna handle this today. I think my friend had her work clothes on too, baby, but she handled it. So it was several incidents that was reported. We called the police. That was reported. My friend had to come back the next day. I had to finish her hair the next day. And it kind of made like some of my business bad because people were hearing that, like we was tussling over there. You're supposed to be running a business out your house and your baby daddy can't get his side chicks in line. And here you is being unprofessional because they popping up at your house while you working. So the reason why she went to prison is because every time we had an incident,
And that is true, y'all. She can mess up her brand like that. She was doing business out of her house. You know what I'm saying? And that's you will make people feel uncomfortable, unsafe. They wouldn't feel safe coming into your house to get their hair done, not knowing if it's going to be a pow incident. Anything could happen. So she's basically telling the truth. She didn't want this to go down to her house, and it's sad because the baby father was the middleman of both of these women and knew that the baby mama lived it here. Didn't have no respect for the house, no respect for his children, no respect for her business, didn't have no respect for anything. And it's the same thing happened in the situation with um Carlos. He didn't have no respect for neither one of his children, neither one of the baby mamas, not himself, because he was a plain narcissist.
I called the police. She know that. But now you're watching, you're about to find out some key points to why you went to prison. Because I don't know if you're delusional or you in denial. Because I went over there to your page and seen your little story time. And you got to be delusional to think that any jealousy, huh? There is not any jealousy over here. Okay? So, anyways, y'all, I got off of work, went to go get my kids, some snacks. We stopped to the store. When we got to the store, I seen her car pass by because the store windows are glass, the doors, and you can see out the store. You can see to the road. You can see Memorial Boulevard. We was in this store. Can't remember the name of the store, but it was on Memorial Boulevard in Lakeland, Florida, right by Never Shop. I took my kids in there to get them some snacks. When I took them in,
So the way it sound, y'all, like the second baby mother was stalking this woman. That's what it sounds like from the way she telling this story. She was being stalked.
there to get some snacks, my sister had called me and asked me to ride. I think she wanted me to ride to Tampa or somewhere she wanted me to ride with her. So I'm like, okay, I'll ride with you. So I'm gonna stop and get my kids some snacks first because Tampa is a little ways. Well, while I'm in the store, I see the girl car pass by the store. She passed by the store and she bring the whole block around. By this time, I done got my keys and I'm like, let's get in the car, let's dip. because I had them been hearing some things and I didn't know how true they was. But I hope that she ain't gone loony bug. So, anyways, and the fact that I wasn't even with the guy anymore, we was through. Okay, I was like done with him. He was not living with me. We was not living together. We was still sleeping together. Cause what baby mamas and baby daddies do, they be doing that sometimes. I don't know about y'all, but me and mine, nah, let me stop playing. But anyways, um, I got my kids in the car, the truck, cause I had a Durango. I buckled everybody up, put everybody in their seatbelts, put them on their row, got in the car, drove out the store, and I went left. When I went left, the girl car was coming up the road, y'all. When her car came up the road, she stopped by mine and she tried to block my car where I couldn't get
Oh my God.
around
What
her.
that sound like,
She
y'all?
stopped her car. She reached down. I don't know if she was in her purse or whatever she had. She pulled out a firearm. When she pulled out that firearm,
Wow.
I kind of blanked out because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on, what led up to this, why you got a firearm. I got my kids in the back seat, like my whole life flashed before me because I ain't been in that situation with another woman by the man. I didn't know
Y'all
what
hear
she was gonna
this?
do. I can hear her because I'm like in shock. I'm just looking. She waving it around all crazy and talking shit and bitch, what you gonna do now? And all this shit. I mean, she going on and on. She cussing. I look in the back seat after I come to my senses, and her daughter is standing up in the back seat behind her. Her son in the car. Our kids are little. I got a 1 year old. I got like a couple month old baby, and I got a 2 year old that's about to be 3 in the car. She waving this gun around, and then you got your kids in the car with you, and you waving this gun around, talking crazy. I mean,
Y'all, this sound like Holly. Holly brought her daughter and had the weapon in the car with her daughter. Same thing this girl did. Like, wow. Unbelievable.
reckless with the gun. I don't know what you doing, but you scared the hell out of me. That's what you did. You did. I pulled my car, back it out, drive kind of around to go around her car because again, she pulled up where she can kind of corner me off. Went around, speed down, get on my phone, call my sister and like, man, this bitch got a gun. Nicole just pulled out a gun on me and my kids. And my sister like, what? I'm like, yeah. She was like, call the police. I said, I am. I'm trying to get to your house and I'm going to call the police when I get there. I said, she behind me because she turns around and she follows me. So she followed me
Wow.
all the way. We off of Memorial. We go down 2nd Street. I get on 10th Street. We go all the way down to Lincoln. Is they
Wow.
called Lincoln Court
Hey,
Apartments? I think that's what it's
Joanne.
called. She followed me all the way down there. When I
This
see
is
her coming, I'm getting off the
crazy.
phone with my sister now, and I'm calling the police because
Hey, everybody that's coming
the bitch
in.
got a
Thank
gun.
y'all for
She
joining.
has a gun. And I don't know what the fuck her plans is, but I got my
Oh,
kids. And bitch, I
oh,
ain't dying about no nigga. Not today. So I called the police. And when I call the police, get them the description of the car, tell them the driver because she flying down the road, but I'm going faster. But she get down there and then she um passed by my sister's house and stop at the stop sign. When she stopped at the stop sign, this girl started letting off shots in the air. Boom, boom, boom,
uh-uh.
boom, boom. By this time, we scared than a motherfucker. I got the police on the phone, and the
Wow. Do
police
y'all
hear the
hear
shots.
this?
Literally, they hear the shots.
Hey, Miss
So
M.
I hear the police sirens coming up because I was telling where I was at, and when you on the phone with the lady, the 911 call, they keep you on there till the police arrive. So I tell the lady that I hear the police coming, but she like, don't hang up the phone. And she was like, was that gunshots? And then I'm telling my kids, get down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Because we don't know. We don't see her. We don't know.
Wow.
Is she coming back? We don't know nothing. We just hear the sounds of the
Why
gun and
is
we
she
drop down.
smiling while she's telling her
So
story?
You can
I
hear
don't
my kids in the
know.
background, and the lady like, "Oh my God, are y'all
Let's
okay?" I'm like,
hear
"We
it for
okay."
real,
I'm like,
D.
"She at the corner."
Yes, this
She
is
turned around and I
crazy.
see it, and she speed off and drive back by, and then the police is coming. So I guess she seen the police when she make a U-turn, and she drive back down. We down in the car, we down in the seats. We so scared. We running. We don't know what's going on. So she turned around and she passed by, and the police come flushing. So I guess she make it back to the Second Street area, because that's why I told her the incident actually happened where she pulled the gun out. But when she
Hi,
shot it,
Miss
it was
Season.
over on
How
Lincoln
are you,
Court by Fifth
sweetie?
Street at my sister's house. So
I
the
love your
police fly
videos,
down
baby.
there.
Keep them
They
coming.
fly
I
down there. They
love
see
them.
her car. She riding. I don't know how she got rid of her evidence, but she got rid of that
Doing a
evidence
great
before
job.
the police got to her. But the police did get to her and they arrested her and they took her to jail. So in part 5, I was telling y'all that, she shot the gun. I had my babies with me and I called 911 and they heard her shooting the firearm while I was on the call. She was arrested. She
Mm.
had to bail out. She bailed out. She went to prison. So remember when I told y'all that my car was vandalized, right? My car was vandalized. A piece of the knife was broke and left. I gave that to the police, right? When I called the police, when she shot this gun and she went to jail, now they was able to fingerprint her. When she was arrested, they said that she
You're
had
welcome, Miss Season. You're welcome.
what is
I
called
love
when you
them.
shoot the gun? Gunpowder all over her, all in
Oh,
her
Lord.
hair, all over her clothes. They say the gunpowder was everywhere. So they did know that she did shoot the gun because she had gunpowder all over her. Not only to mention she when the knife broke from them flattening my tires, her fingerprints was all over. So the piece of the knife that had broke off had her fingerprints all over it. They fingerprinted her. They tied that criminal mischief case to now this case where she has been arrested for threatening my life and my kids' life because my kids was with me. Remind you, I had just got them from daycare. So now they
Wow.
took that other case and they put that case together. The lady called me back after she was arrested. The state attorney called me back and said, "We got her. We got her. We got her." I said, "What?" She said her fingerprints was all over that piece of knife. We got her. So now we're about to charge her with stalking, aggravated battery. She's about to get child abuse and child neglect charges. I mean, she had a list of charges. She had a list of charges. But the key piece was her fingerprints was over that knife. So when I had been calling the police because she had been bothering me, I even tried to get an injunction on her before, and they didn't give me them because they said the case wasn't strong enough. Well, after she shot that gun with her kids in the car, and my kids in my car, I don't even know why would she do a thing like that. Why would you shoot a gun in the air with your kids in the back seat of the car, your baby standing up? Like, you crazy. Like, that's all I could think of. Ain't nothing in this world gonna drive me to that point over no man. But it drove her there, drove her very far, because that little petty stuff we had going on was not nothing to lead up to buying a firearm. You brought a gun. What was you buying a gun for? I don't know. You should have been using it for somebody that was trying to hurt you. I wasn't trying to hurt you. But anyways, she brought that gun and she used it. She didn't use it on me, but she used it recklessly. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know what for, because I just don't know. I still don't know what for. She did apologize for her what she did. I'm just don't understand what led up to you buying a firearm. But anyways, the state attorney had
I
called
miss you
me,
too,
and they were so
April.
excited to get her, and they kept asking me like, what did I want to see happen to her? I'm like, this could have been bad. So it definitely has to be a lesson learned. It has to be some jail time. The lady was like, this ain't no jail time. This is prison. We talking about prison. She ain't going to jail. She going past the jail when they're done
Hey,
with
Miss
her.
Davis.
So they kept going to court or whatever every week, and she decided that I guess she was innocent. I mean, well, the 911 call has the kids in the background, has the gunshots in the background. The knife where you vandalized my car has your fingerprints all over it. And then you get arrested with gunpowder all over you. So you innocent, you guilty as charged. So she decided.
Joanne, I definitely agree with you. And this is why I bring this video up to play part 1 and part 2 today. Because I want people to see this case is similar to what happened to what Holly did to that girl. This is why I did this today, y'all. This is exactly why I did this. And again, some women needs to start thinking when you meet a guy again with children already, stop being so quick to involve yourself in something that you have nothing to do with. You don't even know this baby mother. You only going off what this man is telling you. He's causing division and confusion. Give yourself time to know this baby mother. Especially if you're messing with a man and ain't your goddamn man. Okay? But you all up in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. Now, this could have turned out just like Holly did this woman. This other baby mother could have unalived this woman. Same situation. Same situation. It is sad.
That she was going to go to trial. Now, I was hoping and praying that she didn't go to trial because I knew, I don't know if she had a lawyer or what was going on. I don't know because I didn't figure out what was going on her behalf of the case. I was just showing up for my behalf of the case because don't play with me. I don't play with no firearms and don't play around my little kids. My babies, I'm supposed to protect and provide and make sure they're safe. And what you did was very reckless. So I was like, she got to face some consequences now.
All over, man.
I don't want her to be too harsh on her because she got kids. But some consequences got to be.
Wow, that was nice of you to say.
Done. Because if it was me, they would have did it to me. If I'd have did that to them, they would have did the same thing to me. I wouldn't mattered. I wouldn't blame them. Why would I? I mean, if I'm shooting a gun and you got your kids, if I pull out one, that's a threat. You can't pull out no gun and threaten nobody's life with it. That is illegal. So I called the police. I needed help. You're supposed to call 911 when you need help. I don't understand why you didn't think I was going to call the damn police. Is you crazy? So anyhow, I called the damn police and she decided that she's going to take this shit to trial. So we goes to trial. When it goes to trial, because I can't even believe we're going to trial. We goes to trial and her mother is sitting in there with some pictures. And my sister said she had all kinds of stuff and she was talking crazy. When she was talking, they didn't let me go in the courtroom when she was talking. Or when her witnesses or whoever they had in, they did not let me go in the courtroom because, of course, they're going to keep me protected and keep me away from them. They had to keep us separate.
Yeah. I got the other story. We're going to do that tomorrow.
My sister was able to be in there, and she was coming out telling me, like, her mama was sitting next to her and didn't even know that was my sister. And she had some picture. My sister was like, sis, I think they do some witchcraft or some old crazy stuff.
Ooh,
I said,
Lord.
no, people is people of God. They Christian. And she was like, nah. So that picture that lady brought in that courtroom and that stuff that lady was talking, nah, so that something else going on. I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus.
I know that's right.
I've always been covered by the blood of Jesus. If I ain't gonna do nothing else, I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna talk to that man upstairs and I'm gonna keep him first. I might be cussing, I might be talking, I might be acting up, but I'm gonna keep that man upstairs first. And favor ain't fair, so I don't play those kind of games. But anyway, she went to trial. They asked me my side of the story. I told them exactly what I just told y'all when it was time for me to go in there. She was waving it. She pulled it out and started waving it crazy, acting like she Medea or something. Her children was standing up in the back and my children was in the front. And then she followed me. She followed me and then she shot it in the air. Like that didn't make any sense to me.
Wow.
I told them the same story.
That
I didn't take none. I didn't add none.
Either one of them people
I told them
her
the
car
same
or the other
story
girl car.
because that's what happened. You
And hurt
followed
one of
me
them
with
children.
a firearm. You pulled it out. You waved it around. I mean, what was you doing? You was just pointing it and everything all across. I don't know what you had going on, but you had it. You brought it to scare me. You knew what you did. I mean, I don't understand why you made that video and what was you talking about. Like, this is something serious. This is crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm glad you learned your lesson because love will make you do some crazy things.
Ooh,
but listen,
baby, you better
I ain't
tell
never
it.
got that crazy when it came to no man.
That's what happened to Holly, y'all.
Overboard.
That's what happened to Holly. Love made Holly do what she did. Okay? And I hope justice for this family. I really, really do, y'all. I really do. This lady is talking facts, and thank God that when she shot up in the air, that bullet didn't ricochet in neither one of them cars and could have hurt them children. She didn't think about her own children at the time when she did that. Thank you, April.
I mean, you do what you do, but she lost trial. And if she lost, she was supposed to get 20 years. Ooh. So she got half of them years and she got some papers and she did 8 of them years because victim assistance was notifying me before she come home. Yeah, she did that time because the jury found her guilty after they heard my story and after they seen the knife and after they heard the 911 call. Huh? You're guilty. All right, bye.
Damn, what to do everyday people.
All right, y'all, hold on. Let me get to the part 2. I think it's a part 2 to this. Hold on. Let me get to part 2, girls. Baby, y'all, again, please, y'all, be careful who you date. Look at this, y'all. This is something similar to Holly's story, but this girl made it alive. You know what I'm saying? So let me get to part 2. Now, the girl I'm going to play now,
he
y'all,
never really claimed her.
Her story,
so
this is the girl that was arrested. Okay, so let me know if y'all can hear it, okay?
Your favorite movies are on YouTube. Enjoy the latest releases.
Y'all can send me a coffee or two if you like.
You're my family.
Get MGM.
Action, which the other girl who is telling the story. We got one baby mama telling the story of how her baby daddy's other baby mama.
I was dealing with my trauma, so I didn't know how to approach the situation, and instead it ended up causing me 7 years of my life. So to break it down, his baby mama, it was a lot of throwing rocks behind your hands, pretty much.
Girl.
And it was back and forth on both ends, but more so on the opposite person ends. Because remind you, I came in. Once I came in the picture, he kind of flipped the script completely. He was very disrespectful. He pretty much just made it known that he wanted to be with me, you know. Because it got to the point where he was pulling up everywhere I was at, fighting people.
He got to a point that he wanted to be with you, but you knew he had a girlfriend when you started messing with him. It doesn't matter if you knew him for 50 years, whatever. He was in a committed relationship. You even knew that because you pulled up at the girl's house, got changeable clothes with the man. You knew all of that. You was doing this, and you knew this man was in a relationship no matter what. You can't justify that.
Just causing ruckus in my life, running off my boyfriends, like I don't know how he found me, but it don't matter where I'm at. He was literally just popping up everywhere. So I was going through all this to find out that he had a girlfriend. So it's just like, huh? But I had just got out of a relationship, so I was outside. I was young. I was a party girl. I was outside. I was hanging out. So even though I was only serious with him, I was still talking to other guys. So for all this stuff to continue to go on, that's what like kind of threw me for a loop. Fourth, immature, a lot of ego, the woman trying to prove a point, like the man like her better or whatever the case may be. For me, I just feel that God had a better plan and a purpose in my life, and I had to see those things. And throughout that, since I've been home, I have an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree in business administration.
That's nice.
4 credits from my master's degree in human services.
That's her, y'all. She graduated. God bless her.
I had married. I had divorced. I got land. I just brought a house. I brought a house. Like, I've accomplished so much. My kids are both married at 19 years old. They're in their careers. One's a preacher. One's in the Army.
That's great, but that's sad that you would go to jail.
14 and I'm a grandmother, so like life had a way of throwing curveballs. And I always tell people, you have to be careful what you say and what you do, because one thing that is, karma is real and it will come back around, and the person that had to suffer always be the winning person in the end. So this ain't I'm not mad at nobody, I don't hate nobody, but I'm here to give y'all the story. So I done ran off the road almost twice. One time, his brother and my cousin was in the car with me. One time I was in the car by myself. I done been followed, car scratched up, his clothes cut up, bleached up, thrown all over my car. She came to my house, knocked on my door. I opened the door. She asked for him. I tell him
But you saying bleached up clothes. She didn't bleach up your clothes. She bleached up his clothes and threw him in front of your house. And you came to her house first to take him to pick up clothes. You knew about he was in a relationship, and scratched up car and tires. You did that to her car.
She at the door. I come back in, I look out the window. She's out there crying because he's telling her that he want to be with me. So this is the situation. I'm trying to give y'all a visual of the perspective places that everybody.
Of course she would cry. Look how long they've been together. You wouldn't cry? If you was with a man and you've been with a man 15, 20 years and he's cheating on you and tell you that he want to be with another woman, you wouldn't cry? Come on now, let's be real.
Everybody played in as time is passing by. So now we at a point where we got kids, both of us. She got 3, I got my 1. Her last one and my only one is the same age. We know about this man. We know what he's doing. It's no sense of sitting here playing the blame game. And I just see that a lot of women.
It ain't no we, because no matter what, she was in a relationship with him. And you decided that you knew about it and you didn't care and you proceed to mess with it. So if you're going to tell the story, I think you need to be honest about the whole story.
Like to say it's the man or it's this, is that. No, it's you, because you allowed this man to come in your life. You allowed him to lie to you. You allowed him to.
Girl, she right, but she sound like Holly, y'all. Is this Holly cousin? Is this Holly cousin? My Lord.
and then you want to place the blame. But where do we have to take accountability? We have to stop and we have to take accountability. And that's where I feel like this journey has taken me to a place where now anything that happened to me, I look directly at me. I done been in some weird situations. We can have story time for years. But I always go back to where I went wrong. What did I do wrong? How can I change myself? And that's what this is all about. And so I just thank God for like just allowing me to see who he is in me. You get what I'm saying? I'm able to walk in my powers now. Back then I didn't know who I was. So I was kind of just shifting along this matrix until I figured it out. And now that I realized like this all worked out for my good. But you know, we come across these situations all the time with women and men and vice versa. And you find out the other woman find out that he been cheating and now he cheating with her and now she don't know nothing about you. And a lot of women like to go and immediately blame game and be mad at the woman. And I love this song. What it is? I got this mad again. Never buy no money, but it's always like this man. She furious. I mean, be furious. You be furious at the woman. And she don't know. I mean, she done been lied to just like you. But
Yeah,
all this stuff was occurring back and forth. Like, literally, we done had to fight. And, you know, I never wanted to fight this girl because at the time back then, y'all, I was a thick girl. Like, I've always been shapely, small waist, big butt. Like, that's just always been my shape tone. And she was like skinny bones. Like, it was no flex to fight this girl. So I never wanted to go there with her. But it was so much of her mouth, like, that kept always at me, you know, and I allowed all that stuff to get the best of me, and I end up doing some things that I might have shouldn't have done.
But you talking about some her mouth. She had a right to say how she felt about you messing with her man and what her man was doing to her. Yeah, she may knew he was cheating and she kept taking him back. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women do that. But you went to this woman's house. You went to this woman's house. What you expect? Then you say she had a lot of mouth and you didn't want to fight her, you know, because, you know, she was smaller than you. So what you did, you went and got a pow and put it up in the air, you know, to scare her off. And what happened? You end up going to jail.
And I also feel like my state, I'm from Florida, and I feel like they failed me because before we get up to me catching the charges and me shooting the gun, and it's now a charge. It's called warning shot. Now you can do that. But back then in 2008, they had just passed the law. So that's why I feel like they failed me. And also, I had tried to get an injunction on her in 2007.
Exactly. You would be crying too. Yes.
Mind you, my charges was in 2008. They did not.
It seemed like every time a woman find a man and the woman knows about that other woman, she plays the victim. Like, that's crazy.
I'm going to upload that. In 2008, right before all this stuff happened, I went to go try to get an injunction on her mom.
Girl, I hope you're not related.
And that was because her mom was the type of person, she was always in a drama. Nothing.
But that was her daughter.
And I'm gonna upload them. And so that's why I feel like I was left out here to defend myself. My parents were more on the
end. You should defend yourself. You put yourself in that situation.
They had conversations with him. You know, they would try to defend. And back then, I only hung out with cousins and family members. And that was when I wasn't by myself, because the 9 times out of 10, I would be by myself if I wasn't with them. Oh, it's kind of summed up everything. And I will post part 2. Y'all let me know what else y'all want to know about it. As I stated before, it pretty much was a bunch of baby mama drama. Woman finds out. Woman's mad. Woman takes it out on the other woman. Woman creates drama.
No,
woman
you hides out on her
when the other woman starts to attack back and show the other.
It seemed like you attacked her. You was the angry bird. That's why you did what you did and went to prison, because you was angry. You should have took your frustration, your anger out on him, because he did it to both of you all. Okay? So you should have been fighting with him and not with her.
Other side, you want to call the police. And see, I never called the police or none of that stuff because, as I said before, I never found her as a threat, and that's what I went wrong.
Well,
she said you was a threat scary as all I goes and went down there every day until they gave me an injunction. But that's the past. It didn't hurt me. It didn't fail me, and I'm a success story. And I don't want nobody to feel bad. I thank God for everything. Part 2. This is how I went to prison at the age of 26. I had 38 years, ran concurrent, end up doing the highest bid of the charges, was 8 years. Off of 8, I had to do 7. We do 85% in the state of Florida. Okay. So now we're on how I met him.
Do that here too.
Simple day, regular day, drop my child off to school, and I stopped by this store called Diamond D.
Yeah, Joanne, she sounded like a fool. That's the story. Little girl stopped there. I was going to say something else, but Lord, I won't say it.
I was coming in the store. He was coming out the store. So he stopped me and he's asked me, did I remember him? So I'm like, no, I don't remember you. And he was like, you don't remember me a few months back? You met me at such and such house. And I was like, oh yeah. So he brought back my memory. I had met him like 8 months prior to this time. After I was leaving church one day, me and my cousin T. And we pulled up after church to the corner house, which my homeboy grew up there. He stopped me, and the baby daddy was standing there.
Hey,
that's what we're gonna call him. And he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Good," but we chopping it up with my homeboy. So he eventually asked me who baby this is in the car, and I was like, "That's my baby." He was like, "He's so cute," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah, everybody say that. He a cute little baby." He was like, "Let me hold him." So I let him hold him. If I would have known what I know now, I would never let people just hold my baby. But I used to get that all the time about my son when he was little. He was the cutest thing. So I let him hold him. Like literally 5 or 6 minutes after that, not even, my son's grandmother pulled up with her daughter in the car, and she was like, "Who is this young man holding my grandson?" So I was like, "I don't really know him." I said, "I don't know him. I know him." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So she looked at him and she said, "Why is you holding my grandson?" And he was like, "He just a cute baby, but I'm gonna give him back to his mama. I want no problems." And she was like, "Oh, you better give him back for his daddy come out that church." So it brought back my memory. So I was like, "Yeah, I remember you. Where you been?" And he was like, "I've been locked up." So I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm gonna go get my hair done because me and my son is taking pictures tomorrow. And tomorrow is his first year pictures with me and him." So he was like, okay. He was like, "How much it costs?" So I told him how much it cost, and he gave me the money. And after he gave me the money, we chopped it up a little bit and we exchanged numbers. And we started talking. So now time is passing by. We talking every day. We hanging out. I work nights, overnight. So we would hang out all day. I go to work. And now months is rolling by. He's being introduced to my family, cousins, people that I'm hanging around. And then I end up telling my parents, like, I'm talking to this man. And it was like, "What's his name?" So I tell them the name. And then I find out that my dad used to talk to his mama. So now it's like he's more acceptable around the family. He knows my aunts. He's coming around to every house that I'm pulling up to. We chatting it up, like it's cool. But at the same time, I had, like I said in the previous video, I had just got out of a relationship. So I was really outside and I was talking to all kind of people.
Yeah, that's why you didn't care about talking to her baby father.
I was not with someone.
You right about that.
Me and him still getting to know each other throughout
the
first 6 months. I'm still talking to him. And he know about it.
This is the woman that went to jail for the first part I played. And she was talking about the girl. This is the girl she's talking about that was sleeping around with her kid's father. And this is the girl that went to jail for 7 years about the pow. This is her. And she's talking about how she met the guy.
He's to the point where now towards I want to say towards probably like the 4th or 5th month, he's showing his ass. So he's pulling up, as I said, and he's doing stuff. Okay, bam. So 6 months roll by. We connected now. We tangled into this thing. You know, all I saw was what he showed me. So one day I'm leaving this other store. I'm actually coming to the store, and this is 6 months after. And I pull up, and my cousin is coming out the store, a family member. That's what I'm gonna call it, a family member. And she stopped me, and she say, "Cuz, what's up?" And I say, "What's up?" She say, "Nothing." She say, "I was getting my hair done by my friend the other day, and she told me that you be talking to her baby daddy." So I was like, "Who is her baby daddy?" So she was like, "The baby daddy." She said his name. So I was like, "He got a baby mama." And I'm like, "Okay." So now I'm listening. So she like, "Yeah, that's my friend. She do my hair." And she was just basically talking about it while she was doing my hair. And she said, "Your car, that she know he talked to you or whatever, but she don't know your face." So when she said the car, I put 2 and 2 together and said, "That's my cousin." So when I saw you, I said something to you. Now let's pause on this, and we're going to pick up back on this cousin once I get sentenced. Now for me, looking back, I feel like if you the cousin, the family member of me, and you're the friend of her, you could have diffused the situation right then and there. You knew I didn't know nothing about this man having no girlfriend, and obviously she knew who I was but didn't have a face. It could have been dead right there, but it wasn't. I guess it was some friend over family stuff. I don't really know. But anywho.
But how can you say that when she said that you brung him to her house to pick clothes up? So how could you literally say that? I'm just asking a question here.
Anywho, let's get back to the story. So now after me and her finished chopping it up, now I'm like, what the hell? So I call him immediately. He denies it, literally, like any other person would. You caught now. But he denies, "I ain't got no motherfucking girlfriend." He used to be just his mouth. "I ain't got no girlfriend." He never really claimed her. So he's just like, "I ain't got no girlfriend." And I'm just like,
no, it ain't that he didn't claim her. Okay? He just wanted to be a cheater like he always was. And he wanted you to go with the flow. He want to see how stupid you was going to be and believe him. And you did just that. But when you found out he had a girlfriend, you kept messing with him. So why to say that the girl that came to your house could diffuse the situation, but you still found out that he had a girlfriend and you pursued and persisted, still keep messing with the man, and you also went to this woman's house? So make it make sense.
This girl ain't just pulled over and told me this for nothing. So now I'm looking at him sideways. And now it's like, even if I thought about making you my main man and stop talking to all these guys, you just blowed it. I never look at you the same. And I might have still dealt with you, but I never, ever, ever, ever looked at you the same. And that's why things kind of played out with me and him the way that it did. So now I'm just sitting back waiting for some type of something to come out, because in my head she know about me, so something finna be seen. So I'm letting him lie, but at the same time I'm talking to him like, I really don't believe you. And if you doing anything, it's gonna come to the light. So this particular night I'm riding. This is the first time I even noticed anything. I'm riding down 10th Street and I see a car trailing me. So I'm just like looking in my rearview mirrors, like every turn I take. We get into some light going up, getting close to Kathleen Hat's store, and I could visually see the car. So now I'm just laughing and I turn on my lights and I turn because I'm like, now she following me. Gotta be, because this gotta be the car, because I remember the car. So nothing don't happen. I guess she get on and go her way to her house. So probably like a week or two passed or so, and I see her at the same store that I met him at, Diamond D. I pull in, I'm sitting in the car, and I guess I went in the store and came out and was still sitting in the car doing something. I want to say I went and got a stamp, and I was putting a stamp on the mail. And I happened to look up, and she parked on the right of me, pulled in the store, got out her car, and all I could see her doing was walking in the store and rolling her eyes and doing like this.
Yeah, they do, Latae. They
And
do.
mumbling under her breath, and she went in the store. So I'm just sitting there because, y'all, I used to be the type of person where I used to speak my mind, and then I got into religion, and religion will teach you to turn the other cheek and let people just do stuff, and you be humble. And the humbler you are, the more trouble you can get because you're not saying nothing. So I sat back and I didn't say nothing. She came out the store and she said he ain't going nowhere. So I just laughed. Because now in my mind, it could have been avoided, but the way that you carried on, instead of pulling me to the side and being a woman about the situation, now it's like my ego popped up. Like, oh, he ain't going nowhere. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to talk to other niggas, and I'm going to show you. Do I feel like that was wrong mindset? Yes, it wasn't even worth it.
Because that was her
I
man,
don't regret
not
my
yours.
life. I don't regret nothing that happened. So now we got a face. We got cars with it. We know about each other now.
Girl, you knew because you the one vandalized her car. You knew that was her car. You came to her house, you vandalized her car. That's what a part of why you went to prison too. Stop it. Please.
Okay. But at this point, we still ain't got him saying it. Like, we ain't got the proof from him, but we got the proof. Crazy, young, dumb, full of gum. Okay, I should have left. And so now, this is where all the drama started. Now we at a place where, like I said previously, it's getting bad. You know, he trying to prove a point to her. I'm assuming he trying to prove a point to me. So situations are occurring, and his hand is getting showed. Now me and her running into each other. His face is being made. Block calls being made. All this stuff. Now we finna get into the drama. It just so happened when I did this video, I was in Florida, where I'm from, in Lakeland. I don't live there anymore. So I live in Alabama. So at this current moment, y'all, I'm on my way to make a withdrawal from the bank. So I'm up early. And I just so happen to gotta go down this road. And I just feel like I'm gonna give y'all, it'll be better if I give y'all a visual of everything that happened. This is the day that I got arrested, okay? What she said, we want to know what actually happened. I'm gonna give y'all the day that I got arrested. Let's get into it. Y'all better like, share, and click now, because they. Okay, so this particular day, I'm going over the bridge in Lakeland, Florida, over Memorial, going over the bridge. I'm gonna give y'all a visual, show y'all how this look. This will be me going over the bridge with. I had my 2 kids in the car with me, and I had my homegirl in the car with me. And we were going to my cousin's house, who actually lived over this bridge on 2nd Street. I had a black Impala with tinted windows with a paper tag. So my car was pretty much, you know, she knew my car. So this is me coming here. This will be me. I turn my blinkers on and I get ready to turn on Jewel, right? Back then, this used to be a store. It's a store now, but it was a store back then. Her car was sitting over there, but she was coming out the store. She was coming out the store and she was getting in her car. So she saw me riding down this road. So now I'm riding down the road, and I'm going to show y'all where my aunt stayed, where I was actually going. And I had somebody in the car with me. So after this video and I post part 2, we're going to do a live. And I'm going to actually have the person to confirm everything. Okay? Okay, they didn't have this right here. It was just a straight road. So basically, I'm pulling in. My aunt, my dad's sister, she lived right here. By the time I can get right here, give my cousin whatever it is I'm giving her, I back out. Now I'm right here and she's coming down the road. So she pulls on the side of me right here. Say this is the side of me. And she pulls right here. She's in her truck. I guess she had her kids. I didn't know she had tinted windows. I just know I had mine. So let's set the record straight. The 2 child abuse charges that I have is because they said I discharged a firearm from a vehicle because I had my kids in the car. It was never about her kids. If it was her kids, then I would have had 5 child abuse charges because she had 5 kids. And remember, I only had 2. Which to me was bogus charges because at the end of the day, how y'all never take my kids out the house? I keep custody of my kids. When I go to prison, I give my mom temporary custody of my kids. When I come home, I get my kids back. So they sent me to prison for child abuse charges on my kids. They actually brought them to my house and did a walkthrough. We'll get to that. And I never lost my kids. So that's why those 2 charges to me was bogus as hell. So she pulled on the side of me. She say, bitch, you going to jail. So I said, girl, what the fuck you talking about? She talking about, you flat my motherfucking tires. You came out to my house and egged my car, bitch. I done called the police. They coming to get your ass. So now let me get to this part about the tire and the car being egged. Not denying it. It was done. But it was 5 people there. And I never slashed her tires. Somebody else slashed her tires. I just took the charge because the person was scared to come forth. And
No, you took the charge because you did it. You definitely did it. You probably bring people with you to do it, but you did it. And you ain't had no other choice because they were going to give you the charge. And the bogus charge you talking about, child endangerment, of course they charge you for that. Even though they didn't take your kids away from you for that, but they charge you for that because your kids was there. Okay? See, some of your story is not sounding right. You're trying to make this girl like a bad person. And really it's you. Another Holly.
And I just took the charge. My family reached out to this person, and we'll get into that. Her car was egged, but she had came to my house earlier that day. But we'll get into that. At this point, y'all, we damn near 3 years in, and I'm with a whole nother man. With a whole nother dude. The baby daddy's in jail. He went to jail, and I moved on with my life. I was the last one to be talking to him before he went to jail this last time. So I'm with a whole nother man. So when she say that, I say, oh, now you want to play police games. My gun was right here in my coastal. My homegirl was right there, and my kids was in the back. As me and her exchange words, I pull out the gun and I say, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to keep rapping with y'all. I'm protected. I'm straight. And her eyes got real big, and she drove off. She went back.
I don't believe that.
Okay, bam. So me and the homegirl laughing like, oh, now she know I'm not playing. Now she know I'm serious.
I don't believe that.
So bam, me and the homegirl, we get to driving. We just going like, I know I done scared, and I see her eyes looking, so I don't know what
I believe just what baby mom number 1 said in her story.
I tell my homegirl, I'm finna go by my grandma's house real quick. So bam, me and my homegirl, we can proceed with where we're going. And I'm going to come back and show y'all. Now, mind you, I said this was 20 years ago.
Cousin.
But when something like this happens to a person, and you just don't forget certain stuff, you know. And as I said before, God has turned all this around for my good, baby. I can't do nothing but smile on this journey. But I'm on my way to take y'all to the next situation where the gun was actually shot in the air. And it was called a warning shot. Never intent to kill, never intent to hurt nobody. Just to warn you and let you know that I ain't finna play with you. It's too many of y'all, and it's only one of me. Besides,
damn girl, you sound like Holly.
I'm finna get y'all to the next
Is you Holly cousin?
Okay, I'm back. So now we get here. Me and my homegirl, we traveling. We was gonna go by my grandma's house real quick because I really wasn't thinking
Holly cousin, girl. God
like,
damn, this story
it's been going on this long.
Girl,
I ain't thinking that.
You can't make this shit
We
up.
turned on 6th Street, right here by the park. 6th Street in Webster. We turn, and we come down 6th Street. Hold on. This is me. This will be me traveling with my friend and my kids. We coming down. We playing the music. You know. Ain't
they
that
didn't
shit
believe
ugly?
her story, you would have never went to prison.
I guess
baby.
she had a sister that stayed at this end corner right here. These used to be projects, okay? And I think her sister stayed like right up in here. So as I'm traveling down, I guess they see my car as I'm going down, and I hear her mom.
You's a liar. She said when you fired the shots, she rushed to her sister's house. She called the sister and told the sister she was on her way to her house to call the police from her house. So you're lying again.
Mom started yelling in the middle of the road. So I kind of hear it and I like pause my car like this. Down and resting. So now I pause the car and I'm like, you hear that? She like, yeah, look behind you. So I look behind me just like this. Her mama standing in the middle of the road. Come back, bitch. We finna beat your motherfucking asshole. Tired of you fucking with my daughter, bitch. We finna beat your ass. So I say, and like I said to your daughter, I'm not finna fight all y'all. I'ma shoot one of y'all hoes. This was my exact words, y'all.
Ebony, I don't believe nothing she's saying. She sounds like
I took the
Holly.
gun.
She is Holly's cousin.
I hold it out the air, just like this. And I popped. Warning shot. That was my warning shot. Bam.
But you so stupid.
I didn't know why
she
was actually originally calling me back, because her daughter was on the phone with the police. So she ran over here to call the cops. That was why she came over here, because now, mind you, this person didn't even live in Lakeland. So I wasn't even expecting to see them. I didn't have a gun because I was thinking I was going to see them. I just had it. So, bam.
That's what you
now
say.
I'm like, she on the phone with the police. I'm panicking now. So I'm like, damn, I don't even go to my grandma's house.
Exactly.
Now we already know how.
Now don't this story add up a little bit with Holly shit, y'all.
She just told me that there was that the police was coming because of the other incident that happened with her tires being flat when she pulled up on me. That was her purpose of pulling up on me. So I have enough time to go back home.
But you went to her house and flat her tires. She didn't come to you.
And then I say, I don't want them coming to my house, searching my house. So I'm going to just go on to my cousin Mika's house back over there on 2nd Street in Jewel. Kid you not, y'all. Soon as I pull in the driveway of Jewel, the house where my auntie stayed, police flooded me. They say, we just got a call about a discharging of a firearm. The police looked at me, he say,
exactly, Ebony.
And I can't believe who it's about. He been running from us forever. And I was like, damn, like, now I'm like, I don't know what's finna happen. You get what I'm saying? But in my heart and in my mind, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the God honest truth. I didn't feel like I did nothing wrong. I feel like it was so much going on, I couldn't take it no more. And it was occurring while I was in a relationship with the guy that I ended up marrying. Mind you, the baby daddy's still locked up. So the only person now that I'm really hanging around is my dude at the time. And he even starts seeing it. We pulling up places. They don't know he in the car. Her family members jumping out the car at the BP talking about what they gonna do. He got in the car when he came out the store. He say, your ass better go get a motherfucking injunction. I know you ain't scared, but bitches don't play fair out here. So that's what originally made me go and get the injunction, because he had been saying that, but I had already tried. You get what I'm saying? I met a guy, and I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I ended up getting into a situation with his baby mama, and I ended up going to prison and doing 7 years. We are on part 4, and 4 is actually picking off from 2, where I said, okay, now the drama started. Well, first of all, shout out to my daughter for serving our country. But
you ain't lying. You is not lying.
Okay, so I said I left off as we get into the drama.
I think she is
okay. So now we like
she is lying just
8
like
months
her.
in.
Yes.
And I'm kind of seeing the other side of him. and like just his rough side. Yeah, he was in the streets, but I'm starting to see like the very like control that he had over the situation.
Well, you would have
Because
seen
he
it if
started
you did,
like
if you would have shut the fuck up.
really showing his ass and running people off like guys that I
It
was
wouldn't went
conversating
this.
with.
It wouldn't have went
And
this
now
far.
that I look back, I feel
But no,
like
you wanted to get on the baby mama
it was
and attack her.
a tactic that worked, because if I could run everybody off, she ain't gonna have nobody to talk to but me. So that's how I feel now. I don't know. That's how I feel. But he just started like getting into it with people
Yeah.
or showing up. So we're gonna talk about
Yeah,
this
but now you
particular
can't
time
make
I
this
ended up
shit
going on
up.
a date with this guy that I had knew since high school. And we would just chat here and there, nothing serious at all. And he asked me to go out on a date. He wanted to take me out to eat. So I said, okay.
Girl, you got too many
So
men. Sit the
he said, we're
hell
going to Red
down.
Lobster. So I'm like, cool, because, you know, I just found I do got a girlfriend. So I'm definitely not going to be head in. So we get a time. He tell me, you know, we talk about who gonna drive and all this stuff. Back then, I had Alexis, and
Well, damn, did somebody have
I was like
Alexis?
22,
And who had Alexis? Our
and
boyfriend?
he had like I think like it wasn't no, it was just a car, I guess. So I said I drive. So I go to his house, I get him. When I get there, he got balloons, he got flowers, and I'm like, okay. So he get in the car, and we start heading to Red Lobster. Well, in the process of me going to Red Lobster, my phone starts to ring and I don't answer. And then I get a text message and I look down and it says, I see you. So, and I hope I'm telling this accurate as possible. And
I
so
hope you are too.
I look down and I see who it is and I just shake my head like, damn. So I don't answer. So me and him listening to the music and we kind of talking a little bit on the way there. And when we get there, my phone started ringing and I just turn it on silent. And I look down and I get a text message and it say, I see you with your balloons and your flowers. So
Exactly,
I'm
Ebony.
like, this boy crazy. So now I feel like at this point, he's really trying to prove a point to me that this stuff ain't true, but it is. Or trying to prove me a point that he really liked me. So, bam, me and the dude have dinner. We end up leaving. And once I could get him dropped off, my phone rang again. I answer my phone. It's the baby daddy. He wasn't my baby daddy then. He say, oh, you think I ain't see you with them flowers and balloons in your car? I seen your ass going up the Red Lobster. So I'm like, you followed me? He was like, yeah, I saw your ass. I was going up 10th Street. He tried to be like he was just going up 10th Street, but he really followed me.
I see
So
she jumps around from
I
a lot of
laughed it
men,
off, and he
ladies.
was like, you better quit
She
playing
don't
with
keep no
me. And I
one
was
guy
like, boy,
long.
please, we don't go together, you know, like brushing them off. So a few weeks passed. I guess him and the dude run into each other. Now, mind you, the baby daddy was a very charming person, okay? He was the third guy that I had ever in my life been with. So let me tell y'all about me, because that's what this is about. And he was older than me. So
This about you did a lot of
I
men.
pretty much was a little bit wet behind the ears after just getting out of a relationship with somebody my age, my high school sweetheart. You get what I'm saying? And so I wasn't really used to a lot of stuff that I was exposing myself to. Is first of all, being with somebody that was in the streets. I just got out of a relationship with a high school child. You get what I'm saying? So this all new to me in a sense, but ain't nothing new to me. So, and so I guess they run into each other and they end up having some words. he wasn't no drinker, but the other dude was. So I don't know if the dude was just on oil, kind of trying to sling around like he just took me out, and he had to have a idea of that's who was blowing my phone up. So I don't really know what happened. I can't speak, but I know supposedly, allegedly, the baby daddy slammed the other guy on a car down one night
Girl,
out
now
to the
you got
club
the baby
by the
daddy and the other man
Kathleen
fighting. Girl, you is
High School
terrible.
across the street at the Circle K store. So I end up not knowing nothing about it. Somebody ended up calling me
Hey,
and telling
Lakeisha,
me, and I'm
yes,
like,
she
well, dang, ain't
is. She
nobody
full
told
of
me
it.
nothing. Like, ain't nobody said
She
nothing about
drama.
this. So I'm like, let me call dude. So I called him, and he just basically like, yeah, I was on that oil, and the nigga was tripping and stuff like that, and it's cool. Like, I ain't tripping about it, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, he ain't giving me the story, baby. I want the juice. I'm finna call and find out, and I know who's gonna tell me. So I'm finna call baby daddy. He finna tell it. So I called him, and he like, yeah, that nigga was doing all that flossing and all this shit, like bumping and stuff. Like, nigga, I put that nigga on his head. And I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that? He like, man, that nigga got be doing too much. And I'm just like, you be doing too much. You keep your hand off people's kids. And so it was, a little chatting up with that. And that was it. So now I'm starting to see this side of him, like the control side of him.
Yeah, but you would have seen it if you
And
didn't sleep
another
with him
incident
and you gave
happened
yourself
where
time.
I had went by my homeboy house, who I was really cool with, and I've been cool with him for a long time, like since I was a jit, like 16. And I had went by his spot. He had a spot on Owl, and when I got over there, he was hanging up clothes. So I'm like, "What you doing?" He said, "Hanging up clothes." He was like, "I just dropped my bar that the clothes hang on." So I go back there in the room with him, and I'm like, well, damn, you got all these clothes on here. You can't have all these clothes on here. So he like, I know. And he starts smiling. He's a smiler. And so
He's a
I was like, I'll help
smiler.
you. I ain't doing nothing else. So I go to helping him hanging up his clothes and stuff, and he get a knock on the door. So he like, hold on for a second. So he go to the door. He stay out there for a second. He come back. He like, you won't believe who that was. And I was like, who? He was like, dude, you be talking to. And I say, you are lying. Oh my God. He was like, no, I'm dead ass. He was like, he asked me that I want to play cards, but I told him that I had some other stuff going on. He said he must have saw your card though. And I was like, damn. I'm like, dude, be on my ass. I don't know what he owns. So on my head, I'm like, I don't know what I done got myself into, but I started learning that he was learning me. Like, he knew me. He was learning me like a book. He was studying my ass. And that's how he would find me.
Exactly,
That's how
Lakeisha.
he would know where I was. And at that age, that was attractive to me because, like, you paying attention. But at the same time, it was kind of crazy because it was like,
No, you was drama.
and the reason
You was
why it was because,
drama and
like,
you
you
loved
knew
a
you
lot of
had some other
men.
stuff going on. You should have just kept it friends, but it's cool. It's the past. So let me finish telling the story. So now I'm seeing him move like this, and he literally, y'all, I was a party girl. Like I said previously, I used to get drunk. Literally, I
Oh
used to be
Lord, I
drinking,
know something
and
ain't
it
right
got
with
worse
you,
the
child.
more I was going through my situation with this. Okay, so it wasn't as bad until it got worse. So we I'm hanging out on the weekends and stuff like that, and he pulling up literally at every family member house, causing problems. And when I say problems, it's because now at this point my family don't like you. You get what I'm saying? I'm in bullshit. I'm running into this girl. But you steady coming over here acting like this where you want to be and pulling up and just taking control, like, and acting like I'm your girlfriend. So now that, yeah, problems getting started. And
She
people
talking
that
about
I'm
some how
hanging
problem got
around,
started. You started the
they
problem.
don't want him around. So now I'm like, I'm dealing with doing what I want to do at a young age, don't know no better, being manipulated. And I got people around me who see what's being done, but when you in the situation, you don't see what's going on. You be blind to the situation. So
You sure was, girl.
they seeing what's going on, and they just like, stop talking to his ass. But it was like, I couldn't. It was like, when I tried, he'll do something. And as I stated before, like, him learning me, like, he got in with me within them 6 months of just catering, like being a catering person, like giving me massages. And y'all, I'm wet behind the ears. You know,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know
crazy.
nothing about
Okay.
all this stuff. My high school boyfriend was playing video games. Shit, I ain't know nothing about this. So when he coming over and he doing all this stuff, it eased me on in. And I feel like that was why I stayed longer, because I was getting attention that I had never received before.
Yeah, some
And
people
let me
love
add this,
yourself.
because on my healing journey, I realized
That's
why
okay, because
I
sometimes some
kept
people don't.
accepting it and going back. Everything starts back from your childhood. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And my daddy, like I said in the previous video, my dad struggled with drugs my childhood. So when my daddy would go mess up, because he lived in a household with me, he would come and buy me stuff. He would take me on dates. He would just spend so much time with me so that I wouldn't be disappointed nor mad at him. And that is what God has shown me through this, why I dealt with relationships longer, because it was a learned trauma that a man can mess up, they can come back, they can buy you a gift, they can,
You right
be
about that.
nice, and you forgive them. So we learn our love language from our parents.
That's
So
true.
I feel like that's probably why I stayed in it as long as I did too, because it was just like, but we never
You
went
should tell
together.
the
Like,
truth
we
on that.
never sat down and said we went together. So let's get back to the story. So now I'm experiencing him pulling up, like I said. I'm getting drunk. We getting into it because I done did something he ain't like. Like, I might be talking to somebody and he's saying I'm too friendly, and I'm in somebody's face, and I'm going out to the clubs, and he popping up, and he wasn't even no clubber, but he started going out and popping up because I was outside. So he started following me, trying to be on the scene.
Sound like this is what Carlos was
So,
doing to
like, I remember this one
Romea.
time I was out, and I went out with, like, I think two of my cousins, and I ended up seeing some of my boy cousins in the club. And this was Club Kathleen, back in Club Kathleen days of Polk County, y'all. If you know about Club Kathleen, baby, we had a time. And I go in, and my cousin them, they wanted to walk around, and I'm not no big dancer. Like, bitch, I don't do all that. So I'm like, I'm gonna go stand back here with the boys, and I'm just bopping back there. I'm just bopping. So I see this guy who is in the streets, but he's like well known, and he was well known from like Bartow. So I'm like young, flirting with him, and he flirting back. So it wasn't nothing, just a little flirting. And then he was like, come up in the section. Like, I could come up here in the section. So by the time I could get up there, let me fast. I walked around a few times with them before I went back there with the boys. And I saw her in the club, the baby mama. And so now I know she in the club, I'm in the club, and he in the club. So now let's fast forward. I'm finna go up here, and I'm trying to talk to the men in the section, because in my mind, I know you jealous. And this is how I played on his top a lot of times in what we had going on. Like, you showed that to me. So I used that against him, and I use it a lot. So now I'm just like, I'm finna go flirt with dude. I'm finna make him mad, since you got your girlfriend in the club, and you all over here worried about what I got going on. So dude, like, come up to the section. So I get close to the section. He come over there, and he like, fuck nigga, you got me fucked up. And he throws a drink on the dude. So the dude had money. So the dude was like, he told the bouncers, like, he finna fight you. He like, hey, because he was known as a fighter. So the dude was like, hey, he told the bouncers, how much I got to pay y'all to get this ass nigga out the club? So I'm like, uh-oh. So before we can get into anything, the bouncers carry him out the club. So now I'm just in there bopping now, because baby, I got what I wanted because you be doing too much. So I'm bopping. So he waited outside the club. Like I told y'all about now, me and her, we ain't really, it's just like little private calls, but we know about each other. We very well know about each other. We probably goddamn like
That's true, Brittany.
10 months in. And after the club, I never forget it. I was drunk though. So I'm going, it's going to be little things I'm probably missing. After the club was over, I'm trying to get in the car and me and him get into it about this situation. So now he mad. So now he like trying to fuss at me and want to jump on me. And this is my first time experiencing him with this side with me now. This is my first time seeing him get ugly like this to the point where he ready to jump on me by the man. So I'm drunk. I don't know how I do it, but I got the scar on my knee right now. I call myself like Superwoman jumping across the car to jump on him. And I failed. So when I failed and hit the ground, because I guess I thought I could fly. So I hit the ground. So when I hit the ground, my cousin, one of my boy cousins got mad. And he was like, man, hold up. So now they having words. They finna get into it. Cause my cousin like, hold up, you got a whole nother baby mama in here and you out here trying to like show out on my cousin. Like, dog, we not finna do this. So my cousin and him having words.
You asked for that because, you was messing with him. She let you have him, So now you start to see the real side of him. He's an abuser, Now, I don't know if he abused the other baby mama because she did not say it. But goddamn it, you got what you goddamn it deserve. You understand what I'm saying? You should have let the motherfucker alone and sat back and let things play out for itself. And maybe you could have seen more than what you seen. But no, you knew this woman was with this man. You went to the woman's house. You took the man there to get clothes. You did everything. You did everything under the sun of the Lord. You did it, honey.
They didn't end up fighting, but I don't know. I don't know if I was drunk to the point where I just end up walking up to the baby mama. Y'all, I don't know. But I'm a Leo. So I'm going to try to diffuse the situation before I turn up. Because it's only two notches with me. I'm cool, calm, or I'm up. Like, it's no in between with me. So I tried to diffuse the situation, but I was drunk. So I never forget it. How
you gonna get mad at her? Y'all outside fighting and she in the club. She in the club, minding her business, and y'all two out there fighting, and you want to go back in the club and turn up on her. Like, what did she do to you?
Sad. She was standing outside because, like, you really showing out like this about this girl, and you living in my house. So he
well, you took him out of his home. You took him out of his doggone home and put him in your home, okay? Because that's where you wanted him at, right? Because remember, he didn't have a home because that was her home when he was living with her. Come on now, make it make sense.
So I go over there and I just basically tell her about, basically like trying to get her to understand, like, see, this is not me. Like, I'm not the one that's bothering you and interrupting your relationship. Like, he's doing this. And it wasn't no beef. We didn't argue.
Yes, she did.
If we chopped it up, and I guess we went home. Next morning, I wake up with a hangover. So I want to say she called me because she ended up having my license or vice versa. I want to say she had mine. And she told me I could come get them. So I ended up going to her house the next day after we had a long conversation on the phone about it. Like a good conversation. Like this was the first time me and her sat down and had a conversation on the phone about anything after that night. Cause she saw it. So I ended up coming back home, taking me a nap because I was tired, y'all. I had a hangover. So I think she ended up calling me again and she ended up saying she had one more question to ask me. And I can't remember what it was, but we ended up talking again. And I was like, he said something. And I think we was trying to catch him in a lie. So I was like, I'll call him on three-way. So I called him, he answered, and I asked all the questions or whatever. And he went to saying something and something ticked her off. And she said something. She was like, she busted in the phone and didn't stay on mute. So now he felt attacked. So now he got to get his way. He like,
the fuck y'all got going on, this, that, and the third. And he flipped the script on me. Cause mind you, I'm staying with my mama. He live with her. You gotta do something. And I'm not tripping about you flipping the script on me. It's just the fact that now, don't play with me when you see me. Like, stop doing all that. But yeah, so now by this time, I'm still staying with my parents. We staying out.
So wait a minute, you let him
in
stay with
Holland
you with your
City.
mama? Cause you say he was
And
staying in
as
your
I
house.
stated now, we probably like a year in, y'all, into the stuff. And that was the only conversation we had in the last civil conversation we had. So now, if you're new here, this is about a situationship that I had that led me into prison doing 7 years, followed by 5 years papers. So I left off the first time me and her saw each other in the club and we had a conversation. Our only civil conversation. So now I'm assuming it's hell and hot waters over there, baby. So he acting right. I ain't really getting all these like harassments. He cool, you know. He calling, he texting, but it ain't the most because you know you just kind of flip strip on me, and I'm just like, bitch, I don't want to be bothered. So now we get to, as you know, growing up young, mama on my ass. Everybody, man, you need to get your ass out of this situation. So I'm just like in it. So now getting in shit with other women. And now it ain't just the baby mama. So I was working with this girl. My auntie was the
You got
house
a lot going
manager.
on.
And we worked in the house with handicapped people. So I had like, it was like maybe 6 guys in the house. And I was working with this girl. And I used to pay attention to the girl. She always just kind of like try to be in my business about dude. Like she'll see me talking to other people on the phone, but when he get on the phone, she like running where I'm at, trying to be nosy. So I started paying attention to that. So I say something to him, and he like pretty much breaks it down. Old girl been trying to get holler at him. So then he tell me
Oh Lord.
that his baby mama do her hair. So now I put all of it together because I'm telling y'all, me and dude, the lies kind of stopped, but didn't stop. He was lying when it came to his baby mama and stuff that he was probably telling her, but we told each other, we talked, like we had a good ass relationship when it came to certain things about conversation. So I would know stuff because you don't lie to me. Well, you get what I'm saying? I'm talking to people. So I started putting 2 and 2 together, like, okay, that's why she always running in there. He said, yeah, she been trying to get on the nigga for years. And I could have bashed her, been bashed her. She at my baby mama house. I guess she was making little faces, allegedly. This is what he told me. All this is allegedly. So now one day, me and her at work, and I'm on the phone with him. And I hear her on the phone down there with somebody, and I don't know, who she on the phone with, but I know now that the baby mama. So I'm trying to keep what I got going on with him on the low. Like I ain't trying to put our business out because I'm trying to keep the confusion out. So I go stand by the door because it's like now she want me to hear her. She loud down there talking. So I run down there on her. And me and her get into it. We have some words, and I told her, y'all, this is how I used to be. And I'm just telling y'all the real, how I used to be. I was something else. I was rough, and I didn't get no soft girl era until I started meeting him. And I'm just being real. I was a rough rider. So the listening to R&B music, riding with him, he changed my whole little thug mentality because I grew up around a lot of boys. So, and I run down on her. And me and her have words. So I told her straight up, bitch, I'll whoop your ass. Like, I'm giving y'all the real. Like, what happened? I said, girl, I'll whoop your ass. I say, ho, stay out my motherfucking business and keep my name out your mouth. And we was literally about to fight, but she ain't want to do nothing. So I end up a situation happening. So I end up this particular day, we hanging out in the trailer park because my auntie had a trailer and she lived really close to the baby mama. The baby mama had done moved over there by Jewel and 2nd Street, which my auntie was already living over there. So this kind of made it easy access for him to be walking over there and, hanging out over there and all this. And I want to say he was in jail when this situation occurred. But me and my cousins, then we over there, we drinking, we hanging out, we having a good time. And she called me private. And the reason I think she called me private is because the girl from the job was at her house this particular day getting her hair done. And I'm assuming they was in there talking about me because now y'all got something in common. Neither one of y'all don't like me. You get what I'm saying? So I guess she felt it was enough information that the girl gave her to make her feel like she was going to call me and start calling me and talking all this shit. So now I'm not just arguing with her. I'm arguing with her and the girl. So now my cousins, them, they like, what's up? Because I could see if it was just her, but now you arguing with her. So me and the baby mama, we going back and forth. The baby daddy is locked up. I don't think he was locked up long. And we going back and forth on the phone. She calling me. I'm calling her. We going back and forth now. She like, yeah, y'all bitches can come over here. We'll whoop y'all ass. She had a house full of people too. So, because I was hearing the people in the background. And I was over there with a house full. So, me and my two cousins, we end up going over there because they stayed right there. Bitch, I'm pulling up. And I'm giving y'all the real of how I used to be.
This girl
Okay,
had
I
in
was
her life.
streets. Okay, so
Glad
if
she
I
went
would
to
have known
prison,
that
slowed
she
her
wasn't
down.
as street as she made me feel that she was, because her mouth used to be like, oh my God, like she would make the Pope cuss in the church. Like her mouth used to be off the chain. So I'm thinking, if we have to fight or whatever the case may be, it ain't going nowhere past this, y'all, because it's just drama. You know what I'm saying? And I was raised up. My daddy gonna take me to the field, and we gonna duke it out in the field, me and whoever. Like that's just always been me. So I'm thinking we finna go over here, we finna fight or whatever the case may be. Y'all, I was young. We was young doing dumb shit. So we get over there, honey, the girl come outside. We all loud, everybody loud out there. Everybody was coming outside on Jewel, on 2nd Street. Everybody was outside. So they standing on the porch. They did not come off that porch. They did not come off of out her yard. They was selling out bad. So we standing outside her like in the road in front of her house. And we still just all going back and forth. Me and my cousins, we going back and forth. I think it was about 2 of us, and I don't know, them 2 and probably some more people. I don't know. But this was childish. I can admit that. So we out there arguing. We baby, I don't know what's coming out of our mouth. My cousins can cuss better than me, y'all. I'm not a cusser. I was a fighter. So I remember my cousin kicked the girl mailbox down because they wanted the girls to come off the porch. Like, they already know me. I'm just standing back but I was drunk. Let me add this. I was fucked up. And this is why I don't fight drunk. I done experienced fighting drunk twice, and I never do it again because she got the best of me. So bam. My cousin kicked the mailbox down, really just trying to egg shit on to make the girl come off the porch. So we not going in her yard because y'all been doing all this selling out. So when my cousin kicked the mailbox down, she said, yeah, bitch, you won't get no more mail from him now, ho. So she kicked the mailbox down. That girl say, you kicked my motherfucking mailbox down? And they start arguing. So she called my cousin. She said, you SpongeBob, SquarePants, shaped ass bitch. And my cousin got livid. I don't know if she was kind of embarrassed because people was out there in this girl mouth, y'all. So she can hurt you with her mouth. So my cousin went to selling out. She said, you Harry Potter ass bitch. And from that day forth, I'm not gonna lie, that was our nickname for her. We used to call her Harry Potter. So after that, now she mad. So now the girl, like they you know, I don't know if more happened, if her car got kicked. I don't really remember that part. If I kicked it, I probably did. I don't know. I was mad and I was drunk and I wanted to fight because I'm over it. Shit, I'm talking to other niggas and you stressing me out about this man, and you don't even know that this girl playing the situation. The girl really playing the field because I already know that she trying to mess with him. So I take it as now as an adult, what she was doing was she trying to keep me and you feud so she can get in there, because that's what it was about. She was talking to him. This is what I know. But allegedly he told me, but I could tell you what I can feel from just like being at work and just seeing how she was acting. So make a long story short, we ended up fighting in the field across from her house. And I was still fighting, still throwing bowls. I got big hands, y'all. Okay. My licks, they sound off. And so I was hitting her. Somehow my cousin was trying to pull her and I failed. And she got on top of me. She got a lick in that blacked my eye. She hit me on the side of my face. And I felt my eye swelling up immediately. And this just one fight that happened over there. It was another time. Well, let me finish this fight. So after that, now I'm working with her. She quit her job. She didn't even come back to work. But now I got to go home to my mama's house. And my mama just like, my son, I got to look at my child, and I got a black eye. And y'all, I had never had a black eye day in my life. I had never got beat up like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a beat up to me, bitch, when your eye black. So I'm just like,
well, you had one this time.
So now I'm having to hear like Nicole, like now it's getting bad. Family and them, like, you just getting in too much shit. But I don't want to listen. I'm hard-headed. I'm doing what I want to do. You get what I'm saying? And I'm justifying every reason why I'm getting into bullshit. The things that I've learned. Okay? So now I done got it. I'm getting into shit. Okay? And I ain't even smart enough to say, this just too much. Like, you know, I'm still claiming like, yeah, we don't go together, but I'm still being put in situations that I could have. I have the power over my life. So I could have walked away. And that's why I take accountability. So bam. I found out she pregnant. It ain't really much I can say, and it ain't really much that he had to explain because we already know, like, we don't go together, and we going through all this, and now we like over a year in. But I still say something because it's like,
so damn,
I'm telling him like,
you one by
running everybody off, you stressing this
got
way
somebody that's pregnant behind
you
your
hanging,
back.
you know what I'm saying? You over here, but you done got another baby. So now it's finna get to the point where I'm on his ass and he trying to, I'm on his ass and he trying to prove a point. So now she pregnant. She going through her pregnancy. Things still playing out how it's playing out. Me and him still in this situationship. And a few months roll by. Now I'm finally finna jump off the porch, y'all, and move out my parents' house. Because I'm just tired of hearing it from everybody. I want to do what I want to do. And y'all, pause for a second. This is why I'm this type of parent. Like, for me, because how I was raised, my mama is a Cancer, and so she's very controlling when it comes to, like, you doing what she wants you to do. That's just my mama. I love her to death. But she never allowed me to just make my mistakes. She always wanted to save me from them, and I just don't believe that you can save nobody from life. Life's gonna teach you. So when it come down to my kids, this is who I am today. I don't get in their business. I don't put me before they partners. None of that. Like, I let my kids make their own decisions because they got to make their own failures. In order to learn, you got to fail. So I'm going to say that. So I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So now a few months done passed by. My cousin called me. And me and this cousin was pregnant at the same time. So we had done built a little bond and stuff like that, being pregnant at the same time and staying with our grandma. So we had done got a little closer. So she moved in an apartment and she had a dude, her baby daddy, and he was in the streets too. So she was just like, cuz I don't want to really be out there by myself. If you want to, pay half the rent and come out here, you can do that. So y'all, I thought about that thing because I really want to get outside and not have to worry about, you know how it is when you're doing what you want to do and you don't want to hear what nobody got to say. You don't want to hear that. So I took her up on her offer. So now I move in with my cousin and we got our own little place now. And now y'all finna get into it. He turned now. Cause mine, y'all, I done been living with my mama all this time. This little over a year I've been staying with my mama. The first year and something I was staying with my parents. So now he turned. He coming out there every day. Damn near living out there. Right? So bam. So now me and my cousin, we living out there past Dr. Road in the apartment behind the animal clinic. So we chilling. Like I say, he out here.
Took him to the animal clinic
every day. I'm working at Publix and I get a job at Publix. And he over there all the time, and y'all, now we trying to call ourselves trying to do something, but it wasn't going that way. So I'm telling him, like, you need to get a job. So he listening. So he like, okay. So he end up eventually later on getting a job at Publix as well. So I remember this day, I'm home and he calls me. Mind you, they've been in the hospital for 3 days. She done had her baby. He done been calling and texting the whole 3 days. And I've been acting like a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because now you out here at my house 24/7. So now I'm finna start acting like, you doing too much. So at this point, y'all, I'm really not talking to nobody but him. I might be conversating here and there, but like literally talking to nobody. He done ran everybody off. So the day they came from the hospital, I will not lie to y'all. I'm finna give it to y'all how it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, because I'm already turn you off.
Called my phone. He said, come get me. I said, I'm not finna come get you, child. I'm not doing that. I was finna say his name. I'm not coming to get you. You just came home with that girl, with that baby, and I don't got time. He said, man, what the fuck I said, man? Fuck that shit. I already told her what time it is. Come get me. So my tender ass, I get in the car. I get in my car. And I drive way across town. We was in Daughtry Road. I drive way on over here to her house. And I'm going to show y'all her house. Is the house. And as I said, up there was my auntie apartment. But this is for the part of telling y'all that time I picked him up from here. It was a gate all right up in here. And I stopped right here. And I sat here. And then he came out of the front door. And she stood at the front door. And she watched him walk and get inside my car. So, bam, we head back to my house. I don't know if she followed us or just knew where I stayed because he had been staying out there. I don't know. We would find these things out, and you would find these things out if you talking to somebody. You're going to want to know. So we going on to the house. We laying in the bed. It's late. I don't even know what time it is, y'all. It's late. And I hear a knock on the door. So I jump up. I go to the door. It's raining. It's sprinkling. And I open the door, and it was her, the baby mama. Mind you, I did not have a child from him. This is her second child from him. And when I opened the door, like I said, it was her. She asked for him. She said she wasn't nasty. She looked like she was mentally going through something. I would have been, you just had a baby. So I went right in there. I said, hey, your people's at your baby mama at the door.
Boy, her story getting too long for me.
So now we get all this stuff together, like I said, and he move in with me. Now we living. Now I'm finna experience it. You see how karma.
Yeah.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. See what I'm saying? That's why it ain't worth it. If you in a situationship, leave. So,
y'all, this girl here is just too much. Okay? She's just too much. I mean, for me, she is. But let me get into this last story and I'm out of here. I'm sick of her. Hold on, give me a second. Now, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all this is an update that they said about this Holly girl. Okay.
Today we're back talking to true crime OG Steph Watts, our investigative journalist, and he has some updates on the Romea Meeks case. Romea was recently buried, so she has been laid to rest. But this case is anything but. developments are coming every single day, and Steph is fired up because he just got some very disturbing news, and he's breaking the story here with us first. Steph Watts, True Crime OG, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. I want to just send out my condolences to Romika's family. I know yesterday was a sad day for them. I think it was her when they laid her to rest. Unfortunately, also, it was a day that Carlos chose to release not favorable videos of Romea, which to me is just absolutely appalling. Why we had to see those, her screaming at him, you know what I mean? To me, it's just unfathomable that would happen. But that's not the worst of it, Naja. What I'd like to say is this. First of all, Holly Johnson's, real name is Kadesha. Is it? Am I saying?
It's pronounced Quadasia.
Quadasia Johnson. Johnson. So anyone that changes their name or acts under an alias for me is initially a problem, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is her CCL, her gun, and her gun license are not being revoked. She will be able to legally continue to carry a weapon, and she will be able to continue to be licensed under the CCL. Now, this is not the responsibility of the Chicago Police Department, okay? If you want to know a little bit more about this, Naja, I'd love to quickly just dive into this.
Yeah, educate us.
Right, because I know people are going to be outraged at this, as I am, and I want them to certainly make sure that their outrage is directed accordingly. So, in Chicago and Illinois, broadly, CCL, concealed carry license, is issued and regulated at the state level, not by the Chicago Police Department, okay? So the ISP, the Illinois State Police, are the agencies with the legal authority to use, suspend, or revoke an individual CCL, like in the case of Holly Johnson, a.k.a. Quadasia Johnson, Johnson, a.k.a. Holly Johnson. So here's how it works now. If someone is arrested and charged with a certain crime or deemed a danger to themselves or others, law enforcement, including Chicago PD, the Cook County Sheriff's Department, or the prosecutors can file an objection to notify ISP. The case is then reviewed by the Conceal and Carry Licensing Review Board, which can remove, revoke, or the denial. So under the Illinois State Police, ultimately the ISP, the Illinois State Police, make the final decision to revoke or suspend the license. So in short, the ISP can officially revoke a CCL through local law enforcement like the CPD, which can trigger the process. But here's the problem. In this case, Naja, as we know, she wasn't charged. So we know that she blatantly pulled out a gun and said she was in fear for her life and shot and killed Romea Meeks. Her license is not going to be provoked, and she will continue to be able to carry a weapon. This is a recipe for disaster, as far as I'm concerned. I'm incredibly upset about it. I've spoken to people and my sources who are, their hands are tied. There's nothing that they can do. Had she have been charged, Naja, obviously.
Now, this man is a journalist, y'all, and this lady is a journalist that's covering this story too. So they've been in this for years. And he said he have covered these stories over 25, 26 years. So what he really trying to say, the people that she got the gun license from, they not going to revoke her gun license because it has to be up to them to revoke the gun license. So they didn't revoke the gun license, right? Now, if she be charged and it become a felony, then the license will automatically be revoked that she could never carry again. But until that happens, I pick up on what he is saying. And until that happens, then she's not going to be revoked of the people that gave her the gun license. They're saying they're not going to revoke her license. Now, another content creator that I follow, I was listening to him, and it was stated that she does not have her weapon. The weapon is turned in to the police department. They have the weapon. At this point, y'all, I don't know what to believe and who to believe. I don't know. I don't know if Chicago is saying this stuff because they're trying to throw people off. They don't want no riot. They don't want nothing to break out. So they just saying anything to keep the community at a standstill. I'm starting to feel that way. Do I believe it is an investigation? It could be, or it could not be. But do I believe a lot of stuff? No, I don't until proof come out. Because like I said, they can be just saying this stuff to keep their community at a level it's supposed to be. They don't want no riot. So by everybody keep calling there, they just gonna say what they need to say to keep the peace. That's what I believe. Until I see more. Now we can finish listening.
This would be a different conversation, but again, she wasn't charged and hasn't been charged and should have been charged, and she wasn't, and she can continue to carry a weapon. And we've got to remember, he has children and she has children, so those children will be around a weapon. And obviously, to me, you know, I grew up around guns. I'm Canadian. Guns is part of my culture. She is not a responsible gun user and should not have a weapon. And I'm telling you right now, mark my words, this is not going to be the last time that she's going to fire that gun at somebody.
I definitely do believe that too.
That's quite a strong statement, Steph. Yeah. It does seem irresponsible. Now, at this point, we don't know where exactly she got her CCL license. Was it in her home state? Was it her city, Milwaukee?
It would no. Let me correct you. It would have to be licensed in the state of Illinois. Because that.
Why do you say that?
Because she's carrying the gun in that state, so you have to be.
Well, some CCLs, that you can get. Like I read in the state that she was probably granted the license in, whether it was Chicago or it was over, you know, where she is from, Milwaukee. They do allow you to take a course. Like you have to take a course to get the permit for a CCL.
Okay, you know what? I stand corrected. So I told you and your viewers. And by the way, I got to tell you, Naja, you got a great group of people. Like the comments, you know, I think everyone's. First of all, you guys have been really favorable to me. I really appreciate that. I don't get everything right.
They love you, Steph. They love you.
Know what? Listen, I do my best, and I love them. I think they're great. Like honestly, the comments are great. People are sympathetic. It's like really nice to engage in intelligent conversations. So guys, keep them coming. I love all you guys. Great. So let me put a call to action out to you guys. I just told you how it would be if she was licensed in the state of Illinois. So I don't know where her license is. So I stand. Let's find out where her license is from. Okay. But all of that is irrelevant because right now, no matter where it's from, they're not revoking her license and she's going to be allowed to continue to carry a gun. So
in all 50 states at this point.
Right. And yes, so it's, you know, look, that's, it's neither here nor there, whatever state she's licensed in. What I need to find out is, I still believe that because the weapon was in the state of Illinois that operated and you know fired in Chicago, I still believe that ISP has the power to revoke a license. But again, they can't because she wasn't charged. And she said it was self-defense. Now, from the videos that you've sent me and some of the witnesses that you played, and I know you're going to get some of this stuff posted up in the next couple of days. Naja, I know some, you know, you and I have been listening to witness testimony. Some of them have asked that you not play them, but I know you're going to work around that by reaching out to them directly, which is going to be great. And, you know, some of the people on your platform have been saying that, you know, their comments on what they witnessed from the points that, so it's been really interesting to see. But where I'm going with this, and in conclusion, is I do not believe that this was a case of self-defense. 100%. This was not a case of self-defense. And Quadisha, am I saying that right? Quadisha Johnson, aka Holly Johnson, should have been charged for the murder of Romea Meeks. And that's my statement, and I'm sticking to it.
Now, when we look at, because you've been doing this for a very long time. I'm just now learning about the crime aspect of all of this. So looking at the charges that we can speculate, because it could have been, is it first degree murder, second degree manslaughter? Obviously, there's no charges here. But even a charge of manslaughter would have, because she recklessly did endanger and take this woman's life, whether she felt like she was in fear for her life or not. It's been stated that Romea, there's been no reports that she had a weapon. None whatsoever. And obviously the police know way more than they're releasing to us I don't know if they're gathering ring footage. Have any of your sources said anything, Steph, about them furthering an investigation, or have they just moved on to the next story?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. I know that, they're certainly watching your videos and some of the videos that are being posted. They're familiar with the people involved in this cases and their histories. So one thing I'd like to say, Naja, is anybody involved in this case, if you've committed crimes in the past, if you have some kind of criminal history, I would be very, very concerned if I were you. That's all I'm going to say.
That sounds like you just fired off a warning shot.
Well, I wasn't the one that was firing the warning shots, but all I'm trying to say is, your criminal history and your criminal past is not unknown to the investigators in this case, and they will look into serious everybody. They have to, everybody. You know what I mean? So look, I don't know, but I can certainly find out what they would have suggested to the state attorney's office. But can I say what the charges would be? I can find out. I don't know, because you know what, Naja, it didn't matter because there's no charges, right? So what's the point of looking into something that doesn't exist? The likelihood. The third thing I wanted to talk to you about, and it's a Friday. I call it fuck around Fridays. Fuck them up Fridays, right? I'm going to fuck it up, drop it on the weekend, and then I'll see you Monday. The other thing I wanted to say to you is, I don't believe that they're going to pursue charges. And it's not, again, people. It's not the CPD. It's like they're like you said. Chicago. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of other crimes, and the investigators in this case, I think, are incredibly frustrated with their inability to get this charged. And
it's so interesting because when it came down to Jussie and that whole hoax or whatever that was, they pulled out all the big guns and the entire team was called out. So there are ring cameras.
Case. I don't know if your viewers are aware that was a story I worked on. I'm close with Olambola, the guys at the center of the Jussie Smollett case. As are you, I introduced them to you. You had them on your podcast with George Santos. I love them. They're great guys, But this
and we probably should bring them here just to talk. If the audience wants that.
We were talking about that. Well, because especially I know we've gone off topic, but it's Fridays.
We are
Fridays. With the release of the new Netflix special. Let's see.
So let's talk about murder. For those of you that are not hold on, Steph, 1 second. Let's talk about murder and the degrees of it for those of you that are not familiar, as I wasn't up until this case. So first degree murder, you premeditated to take somebody's life. It was willful, deliberate. You meant to do it. It was planned. You thought about this. You set it up.
Premeditation, right, is first degree murder, correct?
So was this first degree? Did she premeditate to go and take that woman's life that day?
I think that would be a difficult charge to get because
absolutely,
this was the perfect storm of a terrible situation. I think premeditation, we've seen it in, again, the example that I use is the Kwame Wilson who murdered his mother, Yolanda Holmes, on the Upper West Side of Chicago. He planned it out. He brought in another person to go through with the murder. He told them how to get into the apartment. So that's a planned out premeditation. And that's a tough charge to get.
So it's a very tough charge. So then let's move on to second degree murder. Second degree is unplanned intentional murder, a killing that was intended to cause harm, but was committed impulsively without premeditation. So I'm thinking if you went to go and rob a bank and you shot somebody and they died, you didn't go in with the intention you were committing another crime. That sounds like a unplanned intentional murder. So it's also depraved heart. It's a killing caused by an individual's extremely reckless and dangerous conduct, showing a depraved indifference to human life, even without intending to kill.
Right.
Depraved indifference.
Honestly, I felt like second degree could have been a possible charge in this, but I think the mitigating factor to that is the fact that she had a restraining order against Romea. So this is great that we're doing this. So I'm just playing devil's advocate in this, and what the probably the Cook counties, I haven't spoken to them, but probably what they're thinking is this is good. Could do the next one.
Yeah. Okay. So third degree, which is rarely used in the state of Illinois and not too much these days, but we're still going to go over it. Third degree murder in jurisdictions that recognize it, which I don't think Illinois does. Third degree murder may cover killings where there was less intent or planning than in second degree murder, such as a killing during a reckless act that doesn't fall under first degree. The varying definitions are the existence and exact definition of third degree murder varies significantly by state. So we can skip over that stuff. Let's go to manslaughter, because this looks like a manslaughter case. You have two different types of manslaughter charges that one can get. They can get voluntary or involuntary. So with voluntary, it's a killing committed in the heat of passion or due to sudden provocation where the intent to kill was not entirely justified.
This turn out, y'all. That's all I can say, because I really don't know.
That is voluntary.
Right.
That is voluntary. So then before we get into the discussion, Steph, let's talk about involuntary. Involuntary is an unintentional killing that results from criminal negligence or recklessness. So Steph, what do you think, involuntary or involuntary?
Okay, let's just put on our acting hats. If I was a detective in this case, I would have probably gone to the Cook County's state attorney's office with voluntary manslaughter. I think that's best fitting in this situation. But this is one thing. I spoke to my source, and people are going to be angry about this, but they have to understand one of the deciding factors in not charging Miss Johnson is
the
the
girl
fact
had
that
the restraining order.
Well, no, but they also have to look ahead and say, and this is a quote from my source, would a jury of 12 people convict her on a charge? And remember, there's a lot, like in this situation, unfortunately, the victim's past would come out, the tumultuous relationship, and again, that restraining order and her version of the story, which is, I was 15 feet away and I was in fear for my life, which to me is a contradictory statement. 15 feet away and in fear for your life to me is, I have a problem with that. But, Romeka's dead. She's not there to tell her side of the story. We've got video accounts. But in conclusion, my long-winded comment is that they felt they would not be able to convince a jury of 12 people that this was voluntary manslaughter. Therefore, they didn't charge her.
And we do know the offices, how they work. They're not going to take on a case that they don't feel like they can win. So clearly there's something compelling them in saying, this one's not in the bag. We don't have this. They know information that we simply do not have just yet. And we are working on getting. But we also know, Steph, now we've heard from a witness, and the witness's voice was recognized from the crime scene video, the video that went viral, how we found out about this case. She did an interview with circulating the net right now. We've talked to other witnesses and we're working on getting statements from them. We're just still confirming, because we do like to confirm things and verify before we put anything here on Naja News. But one thing that we know from the three witnesses that we have heard from at this point, nobody saw what happened before the incident. Everybody got there when the altercation was already happening.
100%. Right. And I think I liked that witness because she was clear on her entry point. And I always tell, and we had this conversation before, and I want to just explain this to everyone who's involved, because everyone's really good. You guys are great web sleuths, really good.
Yes,
information.
They're giving us information.
Right,
Absolutely.
But you're right. So what's missing, and I think what we don't have an actual eyewitness that said, I was there, I saw Romeka get into her car, I saw this happen, right? There's a really big piece of the puzzle that's missing. And that information, that piece of the puzzle is being filled in by Carlos and by, Miss Johnson. So again, the witnesses are great, but always remember where they came in. I think the woman said she got off the bus, and there's and
the other two witnesses that we have, they also saw it when the altercation had happened, and they saw it from a different vantage point than the witness video that's out there. So I want to talk a little bit. You've worked a lot with witnesses, Steph, and some witnesses can be entirely compelling and believable because they're emotional. And then we find out that they may not be credible, which is always why I wait to reserve opinion, because I've heard some very compelling stories. And then we find out that a witness was offered a deal or they took a plea or something else happened. Where are we with understanding how credibility works? And not just in this case, but how do we know to believe a witness that sounds compelling? Because we look at the Central Park Five, great example. The witness swore that they were guilty, and then come to find out they were not. And they spent 20 years of their lives or so locked up because of witness statements. Right. So what gives us a compelling, credible witness? Then?
Well, that case that you reference is, I think we're opening up Pandora's box because we're getting into systemic racism, right? And historic racism, because that victim was white. And, I'd love to talk about that for another day. I know.
Absolutely. We sure have to. Let's go there.
Let's stick to this case. And again, the problem is that Romea's dead. Okay. And we have two witnesses who are obviously going to corroborate their story, right? And the story is, I had a restraining order, which she did, and I fired in self-defense. Is anybody buying that story? Not really. Okay, really, none of us are buying.
It's a tough buy.
Right. Even everyone on, I'm reading the comments, I'm looking at everything, and people are entitled to their opinion. What I would like to do, what I would challenge them is, as you know, I was one of the executive producers of Lie Detector on A&E, and I'm currently working on a new show, Lie Box, where we're going to strap people up, and we're gonna give them a lie detector test, a polygraph test. I would like to put Miss Johnson give her a polygraph test. I would like to poly Miss Johnson, but again, the police department don't have the time and the resources to do that because they didn't have what you said. Like there was, if there was a really credible eyewitness that was like, I was there the whole time, and Miss Johnson was the aggressor in the situation, that this would be
case closed. Case closed. Because just because you have a restraining order against a person, if they are not aggressing you, you do not have the right. Now, and this is kind of where we get into semantics, because if you have a restraining order against a person, and you've been granted that, you've been able to prove that they've made threats against you, you are in fear. If they do come into your space and you have to retaliate using whatever you can, if you have a gun, if you have your hands, a baseball bat, mace, then, at what point is the person that's being violated responsible to flee? I know now, I'm pretty sure, I think Quadeja wishes she just would have gotten in that car or driven away and let Carlos and his child's mother duke it out, because she still had her 5-month-old baby in the car.
Gotten in the car and locked the door. To me, that altercation was between Carlos and Romea, okay?
Her baby was in the car.
That was their issue. She had a child in the car. Again, and one thing
she still does not have back yet, by the way, because DCFS did take the child because violence happened in front.
Right. Now that's going to be an interesting, that's going to be another whole conversation, because it's more than likely that Carlos will probably end up by getting custody of that child. I think the grandmothers are going to fight for custody, but he is the father. Yeah. And this is going to be, this is your area. But one thing I wanted to add to this conversation is, and when my source was telling me this morning, is that we have to remember there's cases in Chicago where people have weapons that aren't licensed, that are unlicensed, no CCLs, illegal weapons, and they've murdered people and have not been charged. So, it's, again, I think it's, what's important is the conversation that we're having, the conversations to come out of this. This is not okay. Right. This sets a terrible precedent as far as I'm concerned, saying, just if you're in an argument, you can pull your gun out and shoot somebody. I want everybody to know that I know that looks like the case, but please, it's not, it's the wrong thing to do. And honestly, you know what? If I saw Miss Johnson coming, I'm going to run, because she's got a gun and a license to kill, apparently. So if you see Miss Johnson, I think I would be, a little bit careful around her. She could shoot and claim it's self-defense. And, again, I know I'm being hard on her, but I'm using this as an example of the laws. The laws need to change. Look, the police's hands are tied. Trust me, they're frustrated. The DA's office, the state attorney's office, feels like they can't get a charge on this. They won't get it in front of a jury. They've got 150 cases of people with illegal weapons in the same situation that they weren't able to bring charges. So, the system is broken. And I think that's why, I'm so interested in talking about the case because, but one thing that's interesting, and I have to, this is going to be a very controversial statement, but I want people to understand that I have evidence to back that up. If you're a white person in Chicago and you kill a black person, you're going to be charged.
Wow.
Do you still need your high school diploma? Are you struggling to find a job?
So, like I said, I don't know,
job opportunities.
If they just telling people stuff to quiet.
While the job market is undoubtedly tough, there is something you can do to set yourself apart. Earning your high school.
And I have an example of one where there was an individual who shot, and I can get you more information on this, two young black men who were allegedly taking his bike. He'd had issues with them before. He shot and killed one or both of them. This is a fairly big story, and we can maybe jump into this next week. He was charged. He was charged. And it's a very similar situation to Miss Johnson's, where he could have made a better choice. Najee, it was, it was not his.
How do you know? And we talk about better choices, Steph. What happened to de-escalation? Most of the people that have guns or have access to deadly weapons do not deserve the gun. Most private citizens don't actually need a gun. We get them to protect ourselves, our homes, our own spaces. But somebody is taking your bike, maybe let them take it. Take the damn bike. Somebody's trying to fight your baby daddy, get your ass back in the car and protect your 5-month-old that's in the back seat.
I think you raise an excellent point, and I think this is really getting into your area of expertise. We as human beings are not necessarily trained to de-escalate. And, I can tell, my situation here. I've got, I was jumped in my building 3 weeks ago, right, by my squatters downstairs. They mentally ill. He's on drugs. Jumped me. I showed you my face. I was fucked up. I just show you the pictures.
Wow.
I got really enraged. And fought back. My instinct wasn't to try to de-escalate the situation. I Monday morning quarterbacked what could I have done to avoid this situation. So, I don't want people to think I'm talking outside of my ass. Like, I've been in situations. So I think
you've had direct physical confrontation. I think when I think about de-escalation, if somebody is invading your personal space and they are an immediate threat, and you can't get away, then sometimes we have to physically fight our way out of that, which is what happened with you in that case.
In
this particular instance that we're talking about, there's a car, a 2,000-pound piece of metal right here. You get your ass and sit in the seat and stay in there and let those two duke it out. Because your baby was more important than anything they haven't going on at this point. And I get it. For a living, I literally, for the last 10, 15 years, I've been helping people, co-parents in chaos. That is my job. That's what I do for a living. And so these cases are intensely emotional because you share a child. There's still unresolved feelings. There's a third party that's not been brought into the picture. So we have emotions that are high. If there's a word that's higher than high, emotions are through the roof. And in moments like this, the human ego is at play. Our very fragile, delicate egos, our inability to control our impulses. And we as a society do not know how to resolve conflict peacefully. That should be something that we should teach in schools. How to resolve conflict.
No, I agree.
How do I keep myself out of a fight? Because Steph, we just want to go home, get in our beds at the end of the night. No, Romea did not think when she was dropping her baby off at school that she would never see him again.
But
she had plans for that day.
And again, I'm not bashing the victim at all, but I wish Romea would have had the tools and the training to also understand de-escalation. There was 3 people in that situation who could have de-escalated that. Carlos, who to me holds the majority of the responsibility because he's the man and he's playing these two women. And, but Romea had a responsibility to de-escalate, and so did Miss Johnson. So, again, I think it comes down to, I'm glad we're having this conversation. It's really your area of expertise is, can we have conversations around remove yourself from the situation,
to save your life.
Right. Because if Romea had the tools, and I felt like from what I'd seen in her, she was incredibly upset and angry. And she had a right to feel that way, but she didn't have someone like you. Like she didn't have, I felt like the coaching or the guidance to work through those.
Say, girl, that man is not worth it.
Right.
I know he might still be messing with you.
You have a child
he's messing with her.
Yeah.
Your life is beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
Let her have your sloppy seconds. Let her have that man. And he ain't really even her man. He's everybody's man from what we understand, because we're seeing stories come out. And, it's like not putting blame on the deceased, on the victim, but anybody could have walked away.
Yeah.
She could have been like, oh my God, those two idiots, I'm leaving. I got a baby to think about.
Right.
And, and we talk about that, but we are playing Monday morning quarterback. But if someone is watching this, I would compel you, if you are in a situation today, somebody steps on your shoes, somebody looks at you crazy, your goal is to get home, go have dinner with your loved ones, go have a drink tonight, lay in your bed and wake up tomorrow. I want you to stay focused on your goal. Anything else that a stranger says to you should not compel you so much that you're putting yourself in your life in harm's way. I wish Romea would not have gotten out the car.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that she would have had skills to just know that it was not worth it. I don't know why Holly was there. Yeah. Oh, and there's something else, Steph, that I see people bringing up. They say, well, why was Holly even at the school? Why was she? From the understanding that we have in several sources, they had stayed the weekend together, Holly, Carlos, and with their child, doing the family thing. There were 3 cars on the scene. We know Carlos's car was there, Romea's car was there, and one car that's believed to be Holly's. Since Carlos lives a block away from the school, the shooting happened at 9:06. I think we said 9:30 previously, so I want to correct that. Shooting happened at 9:06. Romea did see the two of them. She saw Carlos's car because she had to pass that way in order to get to where she was going. She made the U-turn and approached. That is something that we have found to be true.
Yeah, I mean,
that shooting did not happen in front of the school, y'all. Mm-hmm. And I know people, it's hard to accept that fact. It happened closer to his home.
When we hit that first 1 million in sales in our first year of business, it was surreal. So this is definitely going to be a thing.
This is it for the day. Okay, so what I'm gonna say, y'all, we would have to keep up with the story to find out, but this guy is a journalist, so he talked to the people that gave her the license for the gun. So they are saying they're not going to revoke her license for it. So only reason I guess it will be revoked if they bring her up on charges. Will they bring her up on charges? Again, I don't know. Do I think that they are telling people stuff to keep people quiet so the community won't be in an uproar? Yeah, I do believe that. Sorry to say, but I definitely do believe that's what they're doing. They probably don't want so much, no retaliation, nothing like that. But we'll see. We'll see, y'all. I'm going to get up off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed my live. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See what's going on. Well, they have her pow. That's what they said. I'm just going to go off what I heard because I really don't know. I don't know what to believe no more. I don't know. Some people say they got it until the investigation is over. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. But it is another guy that I do follow. I'm going to keep up with his story and see what he finds. Because I don't know. But I do believe that Chicago Police Department is telling the community anything to get them off the phone. Yeah, I do believe that they keep telling them that it's on investigation. It may be, it may not be. Again, they may be just saying this, so it won't be an uproar in the community. And when I was in another sector last night, I had put that in the comments and section, and a lot of people agreed with me. When I went up on the panel, they agreed with me. So we'll see. We will definitely see. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Relax for the rest of the day. Find me some commentary for tomorrow. If I see anything about her, an update today, I'll do it tomorrow. Thank you, Latte. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. So y'all be safe out here in these YouTube streets. I'll leave my link in this live after I go off for my coffee link if anybody want to donate a coffee. And always remember, keep God first. And I love you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love.